It truly is incredible to have an IndyCar legend behind the wheel here in the Truck Series. Dario Franchitti makes his return to racing, and he has his close friend and 7-time NASCAR champion, Jimmy Johnson, on the box. Guys, what do you think? We should dial him up.
I mean, gotta wonder what's going through their heads. Let's find out, Michael. Hey, Dario, it's Townsend in the Fox booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, loud and clear.
I can hear that V8 rumbling, bud. What are you thinking right now as you embark on your first pro race in a very long time, in a truck no less?
I was literally sitting here thinking about the mistakes I was making in turns 12 going into 13 yesterday and how I was going to do that differently. But there's so many unknowns here at this race, not only for me, but certainly I think most of the field. So it's going to be action-packed, and I think the key is going to be getting through turn one. And then trying not to get caught up on other people's stuff today.
Well, you were honored, sort of. It was a roast last night with lots of friends and old racers there. Everybody was very kind to you. But Jimmy, I got to ask, as the advisor aggravator, I think you called yourself today, what kind of advice did you give Dario? Seriously, as a racer, before going out and taking this on?
Honestly, just to be himself and go have fun. You know, racers have that gear inside of them, and when the helmet's on and the vehicle fires, you just go to that place. And I know there's been a lot of action and excitement with him being here. It's great support from Dollar Tree, Pie Barker, and all the friends last night harassing him. But now it's that time where he gets to go be a racer again and let those butterflies really motivate him to go out there and have some fun. So today's all about having fun, and I'm glad everybody's tuning in to watch it.
Awesome. Well, we're going to have a blast watching you guys go for it. I talked about how there's track masters and truck masters in this thing. Dario, you've got the track experience. We're going to look forward to you putting that to good work and watch you learn the truck over the next 80 laps.
Thanks, guys.
he was like, I'm starting my truck right now. You
cool,
shut up.
We can just get right inside the vehicle and bring what they're feeling to the folks at home. So cool.
And here's what I was talking about last night. James Hinchcliffe hosted. You see Tony Kanaan, Brian Herta. It was supposed to be just an evening with Dario, he thought. But the rest of us knew that he was going to get tuned up a little bit. Chip Ganassi, his IndyCar team owner, Barry Wanzer, team manager, all of them there. We were having a pretty good time. It was a good
I love how it started, though. He wasn't allowed to have a microphone, and everybody just got to pile on him about his career. It was a great night for sure. Can't wait to see what he can do here. All right, it's time to take a look at our Craftsman starting grid. We talked about the weather that came in yesterday, so we did not get to qualify. So because of that, Connor Mozak, first race this year, he's got the pole. And Gio Ruggiero, who's finished top 3 in the first 2 starts of the year, is outside front row.
Great start to the year for him. There you see Jimmy Hinch and Ben Rhodes, 2021 winner at Daytona on the road course, so he can get it done.
Yeah, going to be fun to watch. I call him Little Jimmy Hinch. It just seems to roll off the tongue a little better. And then row 3, of course, Dario Franchitti. We just talked to him. This guy knows this track better than I'd say anybody in this field, every nook and cranny. But then you've got Daytona winner Chandler Smith right next to you. That's going to be fun.
Youngster Landon Lewis. Kid knows how to get around a left and right hand kind of race course. Looking forward to seeing what he can do behind the wheel of that Nice Motorsports entry. Well, the rest of our lineup is on the bottom ticker. You see it there. As we take a look at the drivers on their first parade lap, we have 2 pit reporters covering all the action today. Georgia Henneberry and Amanda Busick. Hello, Amanda.
Hey, Jamie. And yeah, you guys just talk about Ben Rhodes right there on the second row. He's one of the drivers in this race in the Truck Series that has won on a road course before. He told me his mindset for 2026 is diplomacy is out the window and wins are what matter. He said strategy here today on the streets of St. Pete will be patience, and he'll take his chances when he can. Georgia, the last thing Ben said to me when he climbed in that truck, I will win this race today.
Man, that's intense, Amanda. But another driver that I'm watching is Justin Haley. His last win in a truck on a road course up in Canada at Mosport. And we have to remember he has street course experience too, finishing second to SVG in the Chicago street race. So all those combined, he has no experience here. He said yesterday, the 4 laps that he turned, that was the first time he saw the track. He has no sim experience and no data to look at. So he's going into this start eyes wide open from 11th. Jamie?
Thank you, Georgia. Welcome to NASCAR. As I stated, have fun down there. And, you know, they're checking their tax right now. But yesterday we had practice, guys, 10 minutes maybe. They got a handful of laps. Some teams only got one lap. They were trying to make adjustments when the rain came. But it's going to be a toss-up. I mean, nobody has experience, and they've been studying like iRacing, sim, Mike, and that's it.
But this cat was the fastest guy in town yesterday. He had a really, really strong practice, very confident about this 11 truck. It's been to victory lane a few times on the road courses, so they've got some great notes. You talk about some guys that don't have anything to lean on. This team is ready to roll today.
They've actually won the last 5 straight road course races, so it goes back a couple of years. Of course, Corey Heim was the driver last year, won the championship, so Caden Honeycutt in great hands. Let's take a look at our Craftsman track description. Townsend, you raced here in 2008. Take us through it.
Well, 1.8 miles. It's hard to imagine 36 trucks are going to fit around here on the opening lap, but it gets really tight through corners 4 through 9. Single file most likely through there. Then things start to open up as you complete all 14 turns and come back onto the St. Pete runway here to complete a lap. It is tight. It is unforgiving. And these truck drivers, I've been watching the first 2 races, guys. These kids do not wait around.
They don't lift. They go full send. You know, I think I'd have been really good on the runway, Townsend.
Why so?
Because it's straight. Put my big foot down and go.
Hey, it's fast, too. You were good on those big, fast tracks.
Mikey, how about the race analysis for today? Oh. Tyler Reif.
Reif's got issues.
Maybe he can't get it refired here.
There's our race analysis. You can see 80 laps. Stage 1 and 2, 20 laps, and then we'll go 40 at the end.
Yeah, they're coming.
Sounds like he needs some help.
It's got to be wildly disappointing to already run into some problems.
Absolutely beautiful day, guys. The rain came down yesterday afternoon and overnight, and it's 72 imperfect here, and that's what we expect for the remainder of the day. Look at all the fans. This drone shot, incredible.
Now, the pace car lights are off, but they just came back on there. You can see from the helicopter because of the 42 stranded there. I don't see any damage, Michael, like he got into a fence or anything warming up his tires. So
I think it's probably electrical.
That would be my guess.
You know, it had to be probably.
You never know. I mean, the rain started coming down yesterday before they were able to completely wrap the trucks, and every so often we see those gremlins roar to life.
Absolutely. In the wet, whether it's IndyCar or NASCAR, water and electronics, not great. Now, this is something we don't do in IndyCar that I love. Normally, tow trucks got to very delicately pick up in IndyCar and tow it back in. Not in NASCAR trucks. You just give it an old dirt track push here.
They hook on top of it and pick it up.
Yep.
Remove vehicle.
Oh, he got it fired there. That's good news. Well, we talked to a few of our drivers about the experience, what today is going to be. Here's their thoughts.
St. Pete is going to be treacherous. It's really fast, really tight, narrow. One little nick against that concrete wall, your day's done.
It's going to be really cool to be the first street course for the trucks and be there with the Indy cars. I think it's going to be a really big weekend for NASCAR.
I mean, a street course with a bunch of trucks, man, that has danger written all over it.
I think it's going to be a wreck fest, to be perfectly honest. Those concrete Jersey barriers, they're not kind, and we tend to get after it in a truck.
I mean, that's playing off what you said, Townsend. These youngsters and the veterans get after it in this series.
Yeah, I'm trying to sit here and think to myself, how's this going to all go down? We got another lap to think about it. Michael, I think it's going to be one of those games where maybe there's a little bit of bumping and a little bit of shoving, but then it's one of these things where I think it escalates as we get into the later stages, and that's where the big problems are likely going to come.
It will definitely escalate all day long, and I like the fact that we had those interviews about what this track was going to be like. All that was done way before that practice yesterday, and that practice played out to show just what these drivers are saying. It's going to be wild.
Great view here on board the number 99 Ford Racing of Ben Rhodes. I talked to him yesterday, and what a remarkable guy. I love his personality, his attitude. He is wide-eyed and enthusiastic about this, but he does not underestimate the challenge here.
Mikey, what do you call Ben Rhodes?
He is the youngest grizzled veteran in the history of NASCAR. Championships. He's only in his 20s. He's been around a long time, and he's just done an amazing job.
Came so close to getting it done last week in Atlanta, ran out of gas. But, guys, we have 7 onboard cameras for today. My question is, Ben Rhodes' camera, the bumper cam, how long does that last today?
Well, if I'm a camera, I want to be this one on the roof. I think this is the safest place to be as we ride on board our boy, little Jimmy Hinch here.
Look how
with
beautiful
the speed
that
on
is.
board. Oh, the boats, it's like Monaco.
It's so special to be here.
How cool is that? The Speed is back. Speed with Harvick and Buxton. Brought to you by Poet. Excited to have them on board. Hopefully you all at home have checked out Speed. It is back, and they cover all topics from IndyCar to NASCAR, MotoGP. Twice a week, you can find it online.
I spend about 40 days a year working with little Jimmy Hinch in the booth, and I can tell by those eyes he is smiling right now. He is having a blast, and they're not even going yet.
Now, he did get to test a little bit at Sebring, and it went really well. So did Dario, so they have an idea what to expect behind the wheel. And Townsend, we're too wide in NASCAR. We're going down the front stretch all the way into turn 1. I can't wait to see what happens here. Connor Mozak in that 7 truck on the inside. Gio Ruggiero on the outside. Green flag is in the air. We're making history as the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series races on a street course.
Oh!
A duck inside. You just talked about him.
Ben Rhodes.
Ben Rhodes with a big move. Battle for second.
He was locked up on the right front, Mikey, and I thought he was going to get into the 17 of Gio there, but he was able to woe it up. Very aggressive on the start for Rhodes.
Here he comes again.
Nice start, guys.
Looking to the bottom. Ben's told Jamie is going to win this race, and I think he's showing he plans to do just that. They were 3 wide in the back, bouncing off of one another. Just a crazy start like we figured.
And I saw Dario Franchitti make a move, at least take a look on Chandler Smith there. So the Dollar Tree truck of Dario Franchitti showing that track knowledge, track master, getting after it.
What about Connor Mozak? Able to take off and hold a nice lead here early. That's a good sign.
He didn't want to wait around either. He was early on the throttle. He's like, I don't want any part of these 35 guys behind me.
Now, Connor Mozak is just part-time this year, so this is his first start. He's with Spire this year. Thank you, Kyle Busch. I think you owe him a beer there, Connor, for getting you the pole this week. It was the metric that set the field, and he's hanging on to the lead with Gio Ruggiero second, Ben Rhodes third, and a battle right behind him. That 77 truck, James Hinchcliffe.
What were the odds we'd make it the first lap without
It's a beautiful thing.
It's impressive. It's a miracle.
How about this? An airport runway by day, and on this weekend, it is part of the racetrack. Look at Dario Franchitti side by side. Look at Scott Dixon. I think he likes what he's seeing.
Yeah,
Townsend.
that's Max Pappas to the left. Scott's wife, Emma, there on the right, as Dario Franchitti continues to hunt the back of Chandler Smith. Might make a move here going into 4.
That's impressive pace, too, because the front's strung out. These guys are running as hard as they can right now, and if you're able to close in on another guy like that, you've definitely got a better truck.
One thing that Franchitti and Hinchcliffe told me is, Townsend, the tires aren't very big on the back of these things. The motors make big power. You have to be so gentle as you roll the throttle on.
It's Landon Lewis in the 45. Truck Series champion Ron Hornaday works with this young man, has helped him since he was a little youngster. It's a big moment for him to get these opportunities.
And Ron was telling me he had some great pace. He feels really good about their day-to-day. You can see he's eating Dario up.
So far, so good. Look at this, top 10. Dario Franchitti running 6th right now. You see just ahead of him is the Daytona winner, Chandler Smith in the 38.
Look at the 45 of Lewis.
Dario got a little out of shape there in the final corner.
Might see Lewis make a dive down here. He's right on the back of the #1 truck. There's the dive. Not quite.
Just thinking about it.
Move behind them.
Jake Garcia. That's the 5 truck, Adam Andretti. We got a Franchitti and an Andretti in the field, guys. The IndyCar kickoff weekend. This is so much fun.
Oh, big slide there coming out of turn 3. That's a fast corner. Saw a little bit of smoke there, maybe a little bit of tire rub because that thing's so loaded as the 16
and the
gets turned
16
around.
is around. That's Justin Haley.
Hope we can get that thing fired up and we can keep all this fun going.
Georgia talked about him.
Wonder if he had some help down there.
He's one of the 5 Ram trucks that are in the field this year, and they have no simulation. So he's been trying to do all he can to learn this. Let's see what happens with Haley.
Stuart Friesen down on the inside, and Haley tries to shut the door, and I think Stuart was plenty far in there. He was running 12th, so had a good start to this race, but feel like maybe Stuart was in a little bit further than maybe Justin thought, huh?
Yeah, it seemed like he was quite a bit off the apex. A lot of guys have told me about the, wheel hop you can get in these things.
Yes.
On a regular road course where it's smooth pavement. Caution is out right now, but Michael, wheel hop on a street circuit, much more common because it's bumpy. You got all the different surfaces.
Yeah, you want to add that rear brake, too, because you want all the stopping power you can get. But if you get a little bit too much rear brake and you don't execute properly on the corner entry, those back tires will start hopping and around you'll go.
So stage number 1. And it's the first time the caution is out for Justin Haley, who will get some help here. Lap number 4 here at St. Pete. Connor Mozak, first career laps led on a road course. We're under caution for this instant. He likes what he's saying. The OnlyBulls Green Flag 150th St. Petersburg is sponsored by Progressive Insurance, revving up the savings on home and auto insurance. What a beautiful sight around here as we race on the streets of St. Petersburg, the first street course for the Craftsman Truck Series. And we've been showing Scott Dixon down there, who's racing tomorrow, by the way. IndyCar champion, loving what he's saying. He's with Amanda.
Oh, Jamie, yeah, and as expected, we thought the stars of IndyCar would be here on pit road to take this one in, and both him and Tony Kanaan have just been smiling ear to ear watching these trucks go by here on the front stretch. And Scott, I heard maybe you're scouting the field. Could we see an entry from you?
Not this year, but I'm here for full support for Dario. I think it's so cool to see him back racing, something that we never thought he would race as well, but he's doing really well. Hopefully he can keep it rolling, stay out of trouble, and maybe go for a win here.
Well, Tony, I know the roast was last night. Give us a little insight of what was said about Mr. Dario.
We just had all the dirt on Dario, but for people that are watching on TV, as Hinch has his new name, Jimmy, right? Dario will be the Princess Franchitti, so you guys can take from there.
Oh, it's been dropped already, Georgia.
Here with one of our own, Kevin Lee, your son Jackson Lee, making his NASCAR debut today. How excited are you and proud are you as a dad?
This is different. What do I do with my hands? I'm used to holding a microphone. I've worked weekends when he's raced before, so I'm somewhat accustomed to it. And I'm pretty busy at the job that I don't really have time to get nervous. But it's a great experience. We have no idea how he'll do. He has 2 laps in the stock car. They went ahead and moved to the back at Dad's request just to try to get some laps, and actually Ford agreed with that too. So the whole team moved to the back. We assumed there'd be an early yellow, and we'll just see if he can learn and maybe move forward through some attrition. And then eventually, the idea is to turn some quick laps later in the race.
Dad, strategist, manager, all of the above. But Jackson's grown up at the racetrack, and one of his idols, Dario Franchitti. Now they're in the race together. You sent some pictures earlier today that I just think are so special. How cool is it for Jackson to be racing with Dario? And he gave us some tips.
So Dario was always one of my favorites. When I first got to IndyCar, he was very helpful to me when he was at the height of his career. And he was Jackson's favorite driver when he was a kid. The first Indy 500 he went to, Dario won in 2010. So, yeah, we snapped some pics over the years. So I wanted to get them together. One, just the dynamic of Jackson was 3 foot tall, and now he's a foot taller than Dario. But, yeah, Dario was helpful and just said, yeah, try to stay out of the mess. Stay out of the mess.
You have a busy day today still, Kevin, with IndyCar later today and Indy next as well. So we'll let you get back to it. Put your dad cap on, your strategist cap on.
I got a good seat up here on the pit box. I'm normally asking people to climb down, and now I'm the one climbing down.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you, Georgia. What a great story, and glad to have his son Jackson Lee making his Truck Series debut. He certainly knows how to get around these road and street courses, and he's got his hands full, but like his dad said, he dropped to the back. He's running 31st right now, kind of feeling it out.
I love that plan. He's new to this. There's going to be a lot of action as we've talked about, a lot of cautions. Work your way through it. Understand your truck and what its capabilities are.
Bit of a Talladega type strategy, right? Lay back, wait for the big one. But the problem is, if there's not a big one, the anxiety starts to grow. And I think that's where the action comes is, say you're running around in the 20s or 30s right now and you're not seeing the chaos that was predicted. Then you start to get anxious. You get urgent to get forward.
Guys, in the practice session yesterday, that 13 truck Cole Butcher had a hard hit, actually 3 hits in a row. Take a look at what happened to him. It's that red truck right there, number 13.
Just gets loose and clips that tire barrier, and that puts him right into the concrete. And after that, he was just along for the ride.
So he's in a backup truck, started in the back, as well as Mini Tyrell, unapproved adjustment. So here we go, guys. Connor Mozak has led all the laps so far. Once again on the inside, Gio Ruggiero on the outside, Ben Rhodes, James Hinchcliffe right there. Ben Rhodes on the outside front row right now, looking for a move to take the lead for the first time here. Can he do it?
We saw him very aggressive on the initial start. He did a nice job on that start, and he's going to get the lead away from the 7 truck.
New leader in St. Pete. Ben Rhodes going for it. Connor Mozak slips back, and Gio Ruggiero is all over them.
Looks like Mozak kind of throw a bit of a block there. He knew he lost his momentum. He didn't want Ruggiero getting on the inside of him.
Thought they were going to go 3 wide right there.
I hope not.
Dario, Hinch, they're all right here in the mix, guys, in the top 6.
Little shove there from the 38 truck.
This is what we were talking about. These cautions breed cautions. We say that all the time on the street circuit. You can see the aggression as drivers know that this is a prime opportunity to make a move on this opening lap.
I just think Ben Rhodes knows he's got a really fast truck. It was fast from the start of this race. Now he's grabbed the lead. He's in a good spot.
Looks so smooth, too. You can tell that he's got 10 years of Craftsman truck racing experience because his inputs look deliberate, confident, knowing what to expect in terms of the slide of the truck. He saw a little bit of lockup in that right front, but he's able to just release it in time. Obviously, he went super deep on the restart to get the position on the brakes. Everything's looking good here for the 99.
Look at him pulling away from the field. About a 1.5 seconds over Connor Mozak.
Chandler Smith to the outside into turn 1.
Oh, Dario.
Uh-oh.
Oh, they get together, Dario and Hitch.
What a save.
They
Dario sent it in there, and the back stepped out, and he backed it in like Nick Doohan on a MotoGP bike. That was crazy.
They both did an excellent job of avoiding spinning in that situation.
Dario picks up a spot. Hinch falls back. Nice battle right here, the 45.
Hinch isn't going to forget that. I think Hinch might have a little damage on the right front nose of his 77. Let's take a look at a replay there of turn 1 because, man, Dario got in deep. James opened up his hands, and Dario, I think the left rear, little hip check from Dario.
Slipping and sliding down into turn 1. Watch this truck get sideways right there.
Oh, he clobbered him.
Clobbered him out of the way, but they both held on to them.
Dario would have spun had he not
look at the reaction.
Gotten the help, and he's loving every bit of it, as is Tony Kanaan.
I bet you Dario isn't loving every minute of it, huh?
Dario's got like 4 crew chiefs.
Yes, he does. And they're all on the radio, by the way.
Yeah.
Jimmy proclaimed himself Chief Aggravating Officer. That's his job for today. And you can see him having a lot of fun on that box.
Of all the drivers in the field to find themselves, they've got it all straightened out. Dario Franchitti was the winner in that battle, up to 5th now.
Great run for Tyler Ankrum down on the inside.
He makes a move over James Hinchcliffe. Hinch loses 1 more spot.
Yeah, he locked up there. I don't know if there's some issues with his truck after getting hit by Dario there, but I mean, super lucky for Dario that he was on his way to spinning out, and his buddy James Hinchcliffe, I mean, unfortunately, passively saved him just by being in the right place at the wrong time for James, the right place at the right time for Dario.
We talked about that 11 truck earlier, 5 straight road course wins in a row, and he's moved up 11 spots. So Caden Honeycutt in that 11 had a lot of speed yesterday, and it's going to be fast again today. He'll get there.
He's worked so hard on his road course, and in this case, street course racing with Toyota. Toyota even bringing in Jack Hawksworth, the IMSA champion from the Lexus program, to help Caden Honeycutt. And all these Toyota drivers have really benefited from the time on the simulator and all the efforts since this event was announced.
Look at them hitting that curb. Caden Honeycutt, back to him for a second. Fastest yesterday in that quick practice session. His crew chief, Michael, we documented it. He broke his leg. He's still not here. He's watching from the sidelines. Told me they are doing everything according to plan. They had great thoughts for this. As he goes side by side, Andres Perez into turn 1.
He's going to get that spot, Jamie.
And he does. The 11 into 9th. Andres Perez back to 10th.
Yeah.
Ben Rhodes continues to lead over Connor Mozak, but a lot of movement just behind them within the top 10.
I talked about Honeycutt being on the move up 10 spots. Lane Riggs in that 34 truck. He started 28th, Jamie, and he's all the way up to 12th.
Wow.
We knew he would be strong today as well. He's one of those regular truckers that can get it done anywhere we go, and he's got a lot of speed today.
Lane Riggs with that improvement. He's our biggest mover so far this race. Christian Eckes as well, up 13 spots. Ben Mayer in the 13, up 13 spots, I should say, in the 4 truck.
So, Michael, we're 10 laps in. There's a long way to go. We think a full stint on fuel's about 40, 42 laps, something like that. So only 25% into the tire wear. What's it like for these drivers to adjust typically in a truck as the tires degrade?
You said it earlier. So much power, so little tire. You just really have to manage those rear tires. That's the key to it. And then you try to put that brake bias to the rear to keep the fronts from getting so hot so they work well. The experienced drivers in the trucks will understand every bit of that. For Jimmy Hinch, and Dario, it could be a different story.
Adam Andretti last week, first time ever being in a truck, so impressive, finished 12th on an oval, so we knew he would be somebody to watch this week. This is more in his wheelhouse as we ride on board with Jimmy Hinch.
If we can, I'd love to just watch and listen here as Hinch works the throttle as the tires wear.
See him just barely squeezing that gas down. That's a key.
Got left foot breakers, right foot breakers.
One thing I've learned through the years, the heavier the race car, the more you have to squeeze the throttle, squeeze the brake, breathe off the pedals, really control the pitch of the vehicle with a lot of tenderness and respect. And nobody had a finer touch in the prime of his IndyCar career than that guy, Dario Franchitti. He really understood what smooth does in terms of going fast over the length of 40 laps.
Dario Franchitti, 52 years old, a 4-time IndyCar champion, a 3-time Indy 500 champion. Guys, this is where all the action is. Turn number 1, Chandler Smith taking a look on the inside.
That was a great move, clean pass.
Gets it done.
And I talked at the Open. Let's take a look at this comparison here. We're on board with Dario. That's it. Oh, he's right foot braking. Guys, Dario told me he was going to left foot brake, and he switched all of a sudden. This is actually pretty big news because I think it's an advantage to do exactly what Shane Van Gisbergen does in the Cup Series to such great effect. Use that left foot to slip the clutch and try to mitigate any kind of wheel hop.
That is art right there. Using both feet to get those shifts done. And you mentioned also being gentle on the brakes when you can.
Watch that heel and toe. That's the blip that you're doing. You're on the brake pedal and rolling your right foot to roll and blip onto the throttle. And look at the little brake tap. I mean, this guy, I talked about track masters and truck masters. It didn't take him long to get the technique going here. He is dancing happily on the pedals.
Look at him work that wheel too. That's another part of the situation. He's all over the steering wheel.
Dario Franchitti back in 6th right now, but the battle up front. Closing the gap, Connor Mozak all over Ben Rhodes.
Did you see him check those brakes as he went down the front straightaway? Just gave it a little tap, make sure they were right where they needed to be.
Trying to push those pads back closer to the rotors from the knockback from running the curbs. Meanwhile,
Aiden Honeycutt gets around James Hinchcliffe. That moves him into 7th.
Tyler Ankrum just up ahead. Good run for Tyler early.
I think Dario's all of a sudden closed the gap up a little bit. I felt like the truck masters were starting to pull away, but now Dario starting to close up to the back of the 45 of Lewis.
Just 8 laps to go here in stage number 1. 1 caution so far, but great battles all over the racetrack. Ben Rhodes continues to lead over Connor Mozak.
Okay, the plumber's fixing that burst pipe. We should be all set.
Good thing you're protected 24/7 with your home and auto bundle from Progressive.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure out the right caption to post about this.
Maybe something like, I have protection, just need a lifeguard.
What about that emoji with a shocked face?
Or maybe flooded with emotion.
That's too much. Try, Tuesdays are cray.
You know, technically, you don't have to post everything that happens online.
I totally believe you. Life is meaningless without affirmation, am I right?
To tell you the truth, we could take or leave the extravagance, the attention, the celebrity, the bragging rights, the bravado. Because all we've ever really wanted is for every Ford driver to feel this.
starts with Celsius. Fuel I can feel good about. I'm gonna need it. I'm training for life. From after-school pickups to meal prep to a 12-hour night shift. I don't have time to get ready. I've got to stay ready.
Dawn Patrol starts with a Celsius. I got a whole day to seize. First it's cardio, then it's a race against the clock. Refuel. I've got 48 to do in 24.
It's 4:49 a.m. Grab a Celsius, lock in. I've got a goal to hit and a deck to conquer. A party to be the life of and all the essential energy I need to do it.
Napa knows that 1 in 4 vehicles will need a new battery this year. And that's just the tip of the electrical iceberg. That's why Napa believes in testing the electrical systems on every vehicle, from the battery to the alternator. And why we're a trusted solution for the electrical parts, tools, and expertise you need, catching problems before they become breakdowns, and keeping every vehicle and every business moving full speed ahead.
Last season, IndyCar champ Alex Palou rewrote the history books.
Can anyone catch him?
So what's next?
NASCAR is back at the historic Rockingham Speedway for 2 days of racing that you don't want to miss. Friday, April 3rd, the Black's Tire 200. See the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series in person. Then a doubleheader on Saturday, April 4th. First, the Arca Menard Series East, and then the North Carolina Education Lottery 250 presented by Black's Tire. Experience the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series in person. April 3rd and 4th, all eyes will be on the Rock. Buy your tickets now at racetherock.com.
Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series live from St. Petersburg, and we have a battle for the lead on our hands, gentlemen.
Ben Rhodes up on the wheel trying to hang on, but Connor Mosick there has been pressuring him, showing a nose from his number 7 truck, inside, outside. I think he's just kind of playing with him right now, Michael. It's early, first stage. You don't need to take a big chance right now, but Mosick looks to have the pace.
It's where we've seen a lot of passes being made right here into turn 1, but Ben Rhodes hangs on for now.
And he's aggravating Ben too. He's showing him that inside move into the corners, trying to get Ben's attention, see if Ben can possibly make a mistake. But a great run here by the 7 truck of Connor.
Coming up on some lap traffic here. 2-time Truck Series champion Ben Rhodes threads that needle nicely, but that gap has closed up even more.
Such a fun racetrack to watch, man. These trucks bouncing around.
What I love is you exit turn 9 here. Now, the next corner is really not a corner on the track map. It's just a kink. But in a Craftsman truck, it is a corner. Those guys are not flat out. The truck is in a 4-wheel slide all the way through, and it's a handful for these guys, along with this really fast section right here. These are turns 11 and 12. Well, you get it wrong here, you're going to have a big off.
Working lap 16 here, guys. They're winding down for stage number 1.
And you want to get a strong exit there too, Townsend, because it'll take that momentum all the way down the front straightaway, keep someone from being able to make that dive bomb on you.
Yeah, the 99 seems to pull really well down the straightaways. And there's a big lockup from Ben Rhodes on the right front. I've seen that from his truck the last few laps in the final corner and in the first corner. Don't know if he's going to be on that brake bias knob inside the cabin, just trying to crank things back and put more of the brake distribution to the rear axle.
Guys, these front runners have checked out. 3rd place, Landon Lewis, 5 seconds back.
Landon Lewis was able to get around Chandler Smith, so that 45 truck's rolling. It's good to see. Look at how close they get to those. Oh! Yeah, big slide there. I thought he got a little bit wide there.
Yeah. One of the other track masters here, Colin Brown.
Oh, that's
big
wheel hop.
Up.
That's what that looks like. You see those back tires skipping along. Great job of keeping it out of the fence.
Great job knowing where the back of your Ram truck is.
And he was having a good run. He's in one of those Rams. They're new to the series and just getting rolling. Was up in the 15th position.
In fact, that's the highest running Ram in the field right now is Colin Brown.
Welcome back to NASCAR, Colin Brown. It's been a minute since we've seen him. I think 2011 might have been the last race for him. He does so much for so many drivers.
Oh,
driver
big
coach.
contact into the wall,
hit.
the 15.
That's the 15 of Tanner Gray, guys.
And the left rear is totally chewed up, so he might have had contact much earlier somewhere else.
He's going to get it rolling, or we're not going to go caution?
We're staying green at the moment.
Wow. Good job of getting it out of that mess that you got yourself into. However that happened, probably contact, you have to assume.
So 63 laps to go here. Let's take a look at what happened with Tanner Gray.
Oh.
Oh.
No contact, just got loose.
Hit that tire wall.
One thing you'll notice from these long shots here on the racetrack is how crowned the road is. These are normal city streets until they come to the runway. That means in the center of the road, it's higher. On the sides, it drops off. And in that corner where Tanner Gray just got into the wall, the exit of that corner falls away from you. It's off camber at the exit. You think about the ovals that these truck drivers run all season long, it's positive camber. You know, at Daytona, Talladega, of course, huge banking, huge camber, less at some of the short tracks, but they never run off camber on ovals. Well, they are today.
There's a couple of times that I felt like I was running off camber on an oval. Couldn't get my stuff to stick, but a nice job, I think, by Ben Rhodes of weathering that storm. We saw Mozak be able just to heat him up and dive inside of him, really work the back of that truck, but now Ben Rhodes has pulled away. 2 to go in this stage.
Let's take a look right now at our pit strategy sponsored by Zero Carbon Bioethanol. Basically, this is the pit stops for today. A little bit different, Michael, than we're used to seeing.
Yeah, you have to stay on pit road for a minimum of 65 seconds, and the stage breaks are 3 minutes. And so they'll come in, get their work done, but won't lose any positions if they go by the rules, which sometimes they don't always tend to do that.
It takes a lot of pressure off the pit crews on tire changes with that format. It puts more pressure than on the drivers to get it done on the racetrack. But I love the point you made about Ben Rhodes not making any big mistakes under pressure there from the 7 behind. And the other thing I want to point out is that even though we're on a street circuit and the speeds are much lower than, say, a 1.5 mile oval racetrack, these trucks still rely on downforce. They've got that big splitter on the back. They tape up the fronts for front downforce. And when you're following close like the 7 was on the 99, you have turbulent air even at 60, 70 miles an hour, and it gets your truck sliding around. And I think the 7 is learning you can run close for a while, but you're going to chew up your tires a bit too much if you're pressing.
Look at that gap that Ben Rhodes has opened up. He's now led 13 laps. Only other leader so far today, Connor Mozak, running second. He led 6 laps earlier from the pole. Final lap of stage number 1. He is a driving machine. Ben Rhodes told me, how did he prepare for this? He watched all the Fast and Furious movies about how to drift it around these street corners.
I'm not believing that for a second. This guy looks like he's been here for years.
Maybe a little Ford Sim, too.
Frankie Munoz, I believe, up ahead.
How about, you talked about lack of speed. It looks like there's plenty, though, Townsend. Look how fast they go through those twinks.
Kinks?
Kinks, thank you.
Maybe that's a term.
It's a turn or a kink, and I'm going with twinks.
Let's go with kinks. I don't want to hear you twinking again.
Okay, we got a deal.
Ben Rhodes coming to that tight right-hander. Stage end is in sight as he drives onto the airport runway. There it is. The green and white checker flag is in the air. Ben Rhodes wins the stage. It's his 5th stage win on a road course, most all time.
Wow.
Getting it done today. Connor Mozak hangs on to 2nd. Landon Lewis, great drive for him. 3rd. Chandler Smith, Gio Ruggiero, your top 5. Dario Franchitti hangs on to 6th. Riggs, Ankrum, Honeycutt, Andres Perez rounds out the top 10, and James Hinchcliffe, 11th.
He rallied pretty good after some contact and losing some positions. And I'm going to tell you what, I watched lap times during the course of that stage, and Dario just kept getting better and better. He was getting faster and faster as it went on. So he's learning that truck and how to manage it.
Well done for Hinch. Welcome to the trucks. A little contact, some passing, but it's been all about this guy. Ben Rhodes getting it done in stage number 1. Pit stops are around the corner. Wow. Tomorrow on Fox, the NASCAR Cup Series rolls into Austin as the best of the best take on the twists and turns at Circuit of the Americas. Pre-race coverage begins at 2:30 Eastern with the green flag flying at 3:30. That's only on Fox. I know right after this race, Michael Waltrip and myself jumping on a plane. We're flying to Dakota. We're going to cover all the action tomorrow. As you see what's coming up tomorrow, it's a big day right here on Fox as you have the Firestone Grand Prix, 12 Eastern race day for the Cup Series, 2:30 Eastern, and the Duramax Grand Prix at 3:30. Breaking news, Tyler Reddick is still fast. He's fast in Austin, and he is on the pole alongside Ross Chastain. So Reddick, guys, going for 3 straight. Never been done to start this season.
Connor Mozak here staying out at the end of stage 1. It looked like pretty much the whole field.
That's interesting. We had seen a fair amount of tire fall off.
And we assume that was the deal, why Ben Rhodes was able to pull away so much. So we talked about these stops a little bit different. Non-competitive stops, as we talk about. There's no positions gained, no positions lost on pit road.
Patiently waiting, go over and change those tires and do some work.
You have to wait until the very last truck parks, until everybody gets the go-ahead to go over the wall. Let's check in with our pit reporters. Hey, Georgia.
Well, hey, Jamie. Interesting call by Connor Mozak and the 17, and that wasn't made until pretty late in the stage. They had been telling him for a while to start conserving fuel and save fuel, but Connor Mozak making his first start of 2026, his best road course finish is 10th at the Roval last year. But we have to remember this truck won last weekend in Atlanta, so though very different circumstances, this truck has speed. He was conservative there, progressing over the race, and felt like he could have made a move if he needed to, but they're clearly on a different strategy there. He needs some wedge in the car in the rear, but otherwise he's okay, and he's happy with the car. But let's talk about his teammate, James Hinchcliffe. He told me at the beginning of this to go into this race with no expectation, and that's what he's doing right now. There's some damage to the car. They're working on those fenders, and overall, with all the time they have, just making small adjustments to that car. But James going in with no expectations and finishing and figuring out this truck. Amanda.
Hey, Georgie, we're going to start on the 99 of Ben Rhodes. Teams went over the wall about 45 seconds ago to start these pit stops. Ben was talking about that lockup that he's experiencing in turn 1 with this crew chief. They are going to take tires here, but I did hear that not a lot of tire fall off, which I'm surprised about. Told me that Ben Rhodes was kind of restricting himself out there in case that became a thing. Jamie, I do want to add to you, Ben Rhodes told me the exact same thing. He worked in the sim, he watched the IndyCar races, and he watched Fast and Furious on the way down here, and he is looking absolutely both of those things. As we're going to head over to your Daytona winner, the 38 of Chandler Smith. Chandler told me that he's going to lean onto his Chicago street race experience. He finished 8th there in the inaugural race there for the Xfinity Center. Chandler told me that that got him used to tight walls and lefts and rights and tight walls, but said that he just needs a little more lateral grip and right-handers to his crew chief. We talk about the IndyCar stars that are at track here today. Well, Connor Daly is in the ear of Chandler Smith.
I like it. Connor knows how to get around this place, raced here multiple times, and Chandler getting it done. I mean, great job. He's 4th, came in here for some work, some adjustments all around, it sounds like, and I just love that Ben Rhodes. That's such a Ben Rhodes thing to watch Fast and Furious, but it's working. Keep doing it.
Take a look at Hinch's truck here. I mean, he's got big damage.
He's
to the right rear as we take a look at some replay. Here's Dario Franchitti, who I think is responsible for most if not all of that right side damage. Again, Dario losing the back end of his truck. James there to unfortunately receive and help him. And then the 34 just pushing the 77.
Lane Riggs says, move over,
Excuse
sir.
me, I am coming through. They'll get that thing tidied up, though. He's got good pace.
Action-packed for James Hinchcliffe back in 11th. Let's hear from him. What do you think?
Let's see how James is doing. We're looking at Dario right there, but hey, James, is T-Bell in the Fox booth. You copy?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Man, you were roasting Dario for 2.5 hours last night. It took him about all of 8 laps to browbeat you there in turn 1. What'd you feel from your position?
Time to go. Fire up, please. Fire up. We got to go, fellas. We got to go. Truck's affected the handling a little bit, but these guys are doing what they can to sort us out. So hopefully we'll be strong here in this second stage.
All right, fire up and get going. They're rolling.
Go. Time to go. We got to go. Fire up. TV was interrupting us here.
He gets it fired.
I hope he gets his position back.
No spots lost on pit lane. Great to hear from James Hinchcliffe and what he's thinking. Stage number 2 is coming up. Can Ben Rhodes hang on? In breaking news, the Mint 400 Unlimited race streaming live on Speed on Fox YouTube channel on Saturday starting at 1 Eastern. The Jimmy Johnson in-car cam experience will be streaming on all Speed on Fox social channels. Guys, the Mint 400, growing up in Las Vegas, you always heard about this truck race. Jimmy's going back to his roots. This guy is just having the time of his life. So we're looking forward to that. You can follow it all right there. Speed on Fox social channels and the YouTube channel.
Let's ask him about it. What do you say? Jimmy Johnson, it's Waltrip and the gang from Fox. Do you hear us?
Yeah, buddy, got you.
Wow, you're going to do the Mint 400. Tell me a little bit about that experience. I mean, it's been so much fun watching you in your element here today. How's that going to feel?
Man, I'm excited. I guess I'm going back to my roots in a lot of ways, going truck racing. You know, next weekend I get to get dirty. Cannot wait to be in a trophy truck again, all that suspension and horsepower and such. So I hope everybody enjoys the stream that's going to come off that. Can't wait to get in that truck.
We can't wait to watch. Fox will have it all covered for you, and I know it's going to be a good time. How do you think your driver's doing? He got a little bit wild there.
Never mind. 2. Yep, good. We are choosing here, fellas. We are choosing here. We'll choose it outside.
Choosing time. Good to hear from Jimmy. We're looking forward to hearing
and it's important to choose, right? The choose is critical to be able to hear from your spotter. There you see the choose arrow.
There it is. You got to dip left or right of that.
And some of the teams have spotters just down there for it.
That's usually a penalty if you actually run over it. Jake Garcia just did that.
I heard if you hit the box, I think he might. Oh, that one's definitely straight over it.
Timmy
Hill.
He's last anyways.
Well, kick a dog while he's down.
And guys, yeah, 5 trucks worked past that 3-minute limit. So they're in the back as we get ready right now to go racing for stage number 2. Connor Mozak on the outside. Ben Rhodes on the inside.
I think Mozak got in the outside wall.
Extremely wide there as they make their way down into turn 1. They're peeking out behind him. The bright yellow number 88, Ty Majeski. First time we've talked about him today.
Now we get to see what fresh rubber looks like, Michael, because Mozak did not pit for tires, and he's got a full field of trucks on fresh Goodyears, and they are coming.
Oh, man, that's going to be tough to hold your ground.
3 wide behind him. Dario Franchitti was in the middle. Caden Honeycutt could not make that right-hander 3 wide. Around he goes.
It's a beautiful 180 that he just executed there, though, to not lose too much time, but he'll lose massive track position.
See the map tracker up there and where the leader is. Ben Rhodes has now led more laps in the first 3 races of this year than all of 24 and 25. Off to an amazing start.
That's incredible. It's a dive bomb into that corner.
Lane Riggs is on the move, Michael. Townsend up to 6th.
Well, not afraid to use his bumper either to bump and run, and he is on his way to the front. An impressive drive from way far back to start this thing.
I tell you who's really glad that Connor Mozak didn't get any tires is Ben Rhodes.
Yeah.
He's a pick for him right now, and they're not able to get around Mozak. That's a really strong run when you're on older tires like that.
There's Lane Riggs we were talking about in the 34 truck. 22 spots gained. To your point, he started deep in the field.
This kid, I mean, he uses bumpers to get forward, and he uses curbs around here. He's been chewing up some of these apex curbs to great effect. That 34 truck really riding the bumps well. For Ben Rhodes, though, up front, man, I wish I was on his radio. I'd say, hey, just, you don't have to open up a 10-second gap here. Just save tire as best you can. You're going to need it later in the stint.
Back to Lane Riggs. It's been a tough start to the season for him. 31st at Daytona, 27th last week at Atlanta. Michael, he's just trying to get some points here, move up in the field, and have those runs that we come to expect last year. We talked about Lane Riggs every single week.
It's going to be the same this year. He just had a couple of bad races there on the drafting tracks. He'll get it together. Running up against Gio Ruggiero now, trying to grab that spot. You can see he's quicker.
I love watching how aggressive the curb usage is there in turn 12.
Contact there.
Oh, there goes Mozak.
Landon Lewis in the 45 truck. Mozak losing more spots. Chandler Smith moves into second. You see Gio Ruggiero right there taking a peek. He's alongside trying to get that spot from Mozak, moving into fourth. Lane Riggs with a big move into turn 1 around 2 trucks. 3 wide. Gio Ruggiero not giving up, but he gets it done.
Wow. What a move. That was bold.
Fresh tires can do great things, and Lane Riggs is making it work. Now Dario Franchitti looking to make a move on Mozak. So I've got to wonder, what was the benefit of staying out in that stage break for the 7? Now he's just getting chewed up on old tires every which way.
I don't get it.
This is my first truck race in the booth, but the math, I even carried the 1, and it's still not adding up. Oh, the 5.
Around Adam Andretti around. Trying to see who that is, if it's Daniel Hemrick. Daniel Hemrick involved. Christian Eckes, teammates right there together. See the damage, heavy damage for Adam Andretti in the 5 truck. He left something behind. He was having a good run. Talked about him. First road course race in a truck. It's his 2nd of 4 starts this season. Oof, big damage right there as well for Christian Eckes.
So optimistic was Adam.
Yeah, he was having a blast.
Yeah.
Top of the screen there.
A little help.
Not sure who got into the back of him a little bit, but then got turned into the tires. But he hit tire stack, Michael. He didn't hit concrete. So I'm Adam
there's
Andretti.
another.
The right front, though, got hit pretty good.
Another hard hit coming up here.
So under caution now for the 3rd time today for 3 trucks involved there. Working lap number 8 here, stage number 2. Ben Rhodes out front.
You have a funny accent in Daytona.
I feel strange.
It is way more difficult than being here as an owner.
Who's the best driver in the world?
You're rewarded for aggression in an IndyCar. I fell asleep, crashed off the road.
You fell asleep while you were
driving?
Do you think NASCAR drivers get the international recognition that they should?
I got my first decent check, and I went and bought like some stupid fast pickle fork boat.
I remember that.
Love to hear it. Check out the all-new Fox Sports digital show, Speed, with Harvick and Buxton, fueled by Poet. Subscribe to Speed on Fox on YouTube, the Fox Sports app, or wherever you get your podcasts. A lot of fun watching those guys. They are working in overdrive, covering everything.
You ever fallen asleep during a race?
No, it sounds crazy. I can't believe that happened.
Insane, let alone off-road in Baja.
So pit stops underway. Some damage repair for Adam Andretti. We saw there Frankie Muniz.
There's Frankie.
Back on the lead lap. And Ben Rhodes, he's just been the man of the day here at the streets of St. Pete.
Does a lot of driving in between race weekends. I was talking to Ben Rhodes about the trip, but let's get to this first. Hot starts to start the season. I mean, Chandler Smith doesn't get any better than kicking things off with a win at Daytona. You know what that's like.
It's best in the world. And then the other guys, on the other hand, have had some struggles mightily. And Daniel Hemrick's day got worse just now, so still struggling.
So did Tanner Gray. We saw the damage for him as well. Big damage for Adam Andretti.
Now, this is something we don't do in IndyCar very often, Michael. There's not even a hammer in our toolboxes, let alone a sledge.
I'm glad we're getting to expose you to all these nuances of what it takes to be successful in NASCAR. A big hammer.
So they continue working on this truck for
This
Adam
mess.
Andretti. He is the nephew of the one and only Mario Andretti. And Amanda, you have him.
I do, yeah. We're up on the pit box for Adam Andretti and Townsend. We can hear that big hammer going to work out here. And Mario, I just talked to you off camera. A massive weekend for you that also includes family. What's the hardest part?
What we're seeing right here, obviously. You know, it's just one of those things. I didn't see the replay, but regardless, he'll be able to continue. But obviously, he's out of, any chance of, really having a great finish. So, well, it's that's the way it is sometimes, you know. But yeah, a bit disappointing for him.
How many people have told you happy birthday today?
A lot more than I ever expected. It's amazing, you know. It's really flattering, quite honestly. I can't believe it. You know, it's I just love it.
Well, this one is for us and from the fans watching at home.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. It's great to
That makes me so happy.
Happy birthday. See him at every IndyCar race. Like we have the king, Richard Petty, is at every race in NASCAR. He's getting to witness something a little different.
Such a kind person.
He really is.
Let's choose it up. What do you say, Townsend?
Well, Ben Rhodes has got a lot of experience running at the front of this thing, and he goes driver's left, which would put him on the outside there in turn one. So he likes staying on the racing groove down there in turn one. It gives him the position for turn two if they do run side by side. I think that's what Ben Rhodes is thinking right now.
I like that strategy.
Great aerial shots. Great job by our camera crew all around the track. Got 3 wide stopped here. A little traffic jam on the racetrack.
This is a bathroom break? What's going on here, Michael?
That's like us trying to get in the track this morning. A little bit bound up.
They're expecting 200,000 people throughout these 3 days here this weekend. So a lot of new eyeballs on the NASCAR Truck Series.
There's one of those Rams. A lot of eyeballs on Ram coming into the Truck Series. Minnie Terrell won their Drive for a Ride contest, hanging right in there. Most of those guys I talked to just said, we need to run a couple races, get our legs under us with those Rams, and that's exactly what Minnie's doing so far.
I had so much fun watching at home, Tony Stewart in that Ram at Daytona, and just how anxious and the jitters for him. He looked like a rookie all over again. Let's listen to a little bit of radio here from Ben Rhodes on what he's dealing with.
Oh, it's like no grip for the first 6 corners. Actually, after I come out of 9, then I have grip. And it's like that on fresh tires, and it's like that on after a yellow flag every single time.
What I'd like to say also is, like, he's got a different group of guys chasing him now. We've seen how fast that Lewis has been and how fast that Chandler Smith has been. Riggs is up in the top 5 now. He's got to step his game up if he wants to keep that lead.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that we talk about the truck experts coming into this thing, and right now you got 5 truck experts in the top 5 and a track expert in Dario Franchitti. So this battle, very fascinating as it plays out. What Ben Rhodes was talking about was debris on his tires. I'm not sure if he's aware that under these cautions, there's a lot of pickup that you get on your tires. I think that's what's required for him to get those cleaned up.
How about Colin Brown, guys? The best Ram truck right now, back in 14th.
He's got a truck win, you know.
Yes, he certainly does. I believe that was at Michigan. He's done it all. He's even raced an IndyCar around here. 3-time IMSA champion.
Yeah, super versatile racer, 26 career IMSA sports car class wins. Truck winner back in 2009. Look at how young he was. I remember he was a Roush Racing sort of gong show winner, right? He was that young talent back when so many kids were coming into the sport, that big surge of new personalities. And it's great to see him at age 37 now back at the wheel once again in a truck.
Now, the trucker's going to have a couple weeks off. Then we're going to race at Darlington. And Corey LaJoie just announced he will be behind the wheel for Ram in the 25 truck.
What about the run we're going to go on? Talked about the start of the season. Darlington, Rockingham, Bristol. Those are the races that are coming up.
Hey, Dario and James are out there. When do you and I get a turn?
I don't know. My ship might have sailed.
No, I don't think so.
Watching Dario today really reminds me, you mentioned Tony Stewart at Daytona. I mean, just the excitement, the fun of it, the love of racing.
Dario's even got the breathe strip over his nose. Yeah. I mean, he's at 52. He looks like he's doing it for the first time with tons of focus and enthusiasm.
He doesn't age, by the way.
He's a good-looking man.
Here we go. Ben Rhodes, can he hang on to this lead? Chandler Smith all over him.
I think Chandler's got to squeeze him out a little bit, maybe get a better angle off that corner. Will that outside lane prevail for Ben?
I think if Chandler wants to hold position at the front here, he's got to dive it.
3 wide into turn 1.
Now 2, 34 wide.
Oh, beautiful. Chandler Smith crossed up Riggs in turn 1, and he'll have the point. Ben Rhodes, meanwhile, goes from the front of the field to third. Beautiful stuff from the 38.
Chandler Smith leads for the first time today. Look at these trucks fanning out behind him. Tyler Ankrum, that blue and orange number 18, taking a peek, trying to go 3 wide.
It's just going to continue to get more and more pushing and shoving. You just get more and more aggressive, take more chances. That was a bold move by Riggs and a great move, as you said, by Chandler Smith.
10 laps to go here in stage number 2. 50 laps remaining overall. We got to look back at that turn 1.
Wow.
Move.
3 wide. Look at that move.
What I saw there out of Chandler Smith in the 38 was patience. He sees Lane Riggs with the big dive, that yellow and white truck. And he just goes, I'm just going to hold up here, cut across, get a late apex, square up the exit. And he got the best drive off, and he's pulling away.
What do you think about our man Mosak now? He's able to get the guys have the new has worn off their tires now, and he's hanging right in there.
He is. We'll see how long that lasts.
Got a bit of a gap.
Guys, Lane Riggs started pretty far back, up 26 spots, and now he's battling for the lead of this race. Teammates, first and second.
Wow.
He's the most aggressive driver that I've seen in this race so far. But even though he's had some contacts and pushing and shoving, that truck looks pretty clean bodywork-wise. Nothing's torn up on it. That's the sign of a guy that really understands how much you can get away with and still protect your stuff.
Can't say enough about Gio Ruggiero also, Jamie. Another run right up there in the top 5. He's good everywhere we go.
The consistency for Gio Ruggiero.
Had 3 third places, I believe, last season on the road courses. He's a quiet guy. You talk to Gio Ruggiero, you don't get a lot of information out of him, but he is intently focused on delivering today. He's worked really hard along with all the other Toyota drivers. We talked about everything in the simulation, and now Lane Riggs right back on the 38.
I think Lane Riggs might have the fastest truck.
Let's get an update on Lane Riggs. Amanda.
Yeah, I just want to add at the end of the stage, Lane was kind of reporting the same issue of his teammate Chandler Smith needing that lateral grip in the right-handers. But Lane told me he started working on this race back in December, got into the sim with Ford and said he's been trying to prepare for this, wanting to make a splash here today, and sure is he doing it. I got over to Front Row Motorsports, and his fiance just gave me a 2 thumbs up of like just excitement. There's claps around here, but Jamie and Michael, I'm going to go back to a conversation we had last year with these 2 teammates. They will work together. So while stage 1 might have been Ben Rhodes, this stage might go to Front Row Motorsports.
And that's what they're doing. This is the plan, right? These 2 teammates get along so well, Townsend. They were paired together last year. And right away, Michael, we saw how it was going to go down with them. And I think they both prevailed because of it, both getting wins during the season.
Yeah, and this is something that is not surprising at all, these guys racing toward the front. We've seen the consistency of them all year long last year, and now here they are right up front again. Hopping those curbs. What do you think about that, Townsend? It's fun to watch, isn't it?
Oh, it's great. Reminds me of V8 supercars down in Surfers Paradise as Frankie Muniz comes to pit lane. I'm not sure the crew was quite ready for him there as the 33 sits. And what are they doing here, Michael?
Must have a problem with the battery.
No, but it won't start.
Battery, perhaps, on that left rear. That's usually what you might see.
Looks like Frankie. This mechanic right here is holding the battery. Sorry.
That's Frankie Muniz. If you're just tuning in, like that name sounds familiar. Malcolm in the Middle, a Hollywood actor. He still does act, but this is his full-time love affair. He absolutely loves racing. He grew up open wheel racing on road courses and ended up going stock cars. And we saw him, he went a lap down. He got the free pass, and now bigger issues. Can't get it to fire, and you see the frustration.
Oh yeah.
We've been there, done that, huh, Townsend?
You go a lap down in this thing, it's going to be tough the rest of the day, and he might go 2 laps down here as he still sits as the leaders come back around to complete another one. You talk about curb hopping here. I'm going to watch that 34 Lane Riggs, because as he comes here out of turn 10, watch him come through 11 and 12 here.
He's aggressive.
He is all over that second apex, bouncing through. Riggs has Cole Carter, I believe, as a spotter. Cole, the son of Pancho Carter, spends most of the year in IndyCar as a spotter. Has been here for years in St. Pete. So not only does Riggs have a great truck and appears to be one of the fastest drivers right now, he's got tons of experience up top, keeping an eye on him, especially as they get Jamie into those 3 wide situations down in turn 1.
Well, something interesting here. You know, IndyCar, they have maybe 1 spotter, 2 spotters here. These guys have up to 4 spotters around this track for them.
There they are.
Georgia.
Thanks, Jamie. I've actually made my way to pit out because I want to highlight the spotters. As we know in motorsports, teamwork makes the dream work, and especially here on street courts, spotters are so important. You already alluded to it. They have 3 to 4 spotters, but something I found interesting, there are only 2 spotters in the whole group that did in Atlanta last weekend, and there's 7 spotters being split between IndyCar and NASCAR themselves. So important here specifically. You got to look at the turn 1 spotter stand. They're scattered throughout the course themselves, but so important and doing a fantastic job today here on the streets of St. Pete.
I love the crossover too. You know, you get these IndyCar spotters, they get a ring from a NASCAR driver, and they're double dipping this weekend.
Let me tell you who's dipping is Ty Majeski. He's got that 88 truck on the move. He's run up inside the top 5 now. Just this last time, got around Gio Ruggiero, and he's got pace. Every lap that goes by, he's in the top 5. So keep your eye on number 88.
He's loving being in that Menards truck. And I talked to Ty Majeski about how he practiced and learned for St. Pete for his first time. And he said, hey, I'm a development driver for iRacing. He said, they've been working on the track model, and I get to be one of the early testers. It's not available to the other drivers, but he's got a tight relationship there. That's pretty cool.
What a coup for him. And he said, yeah, this is going to be available to the public in a month where you can race on iRacing on St. Pete. But he's got an early look at it, and it's helped him prepare as he makes his way forward. Ty Majeski running 5th.
Listen to what our friend Dario Franchitti has been saying on the radio. The number 1 Dollar Tree truck currently running in 8th.
He's fast.
Jeremy on 2. The right front looks like it's got a lot of concrete in it. He must have hit it pretty good. I don't see any roads, though.
He's talking about the tire wheel having concrete in it.
Dario didn't reply, but must have been some earlier conversation that maybe Dario got into the wall somewhere around here, but it looks like he was turning left just fine, and that's what you want if the right front does have some damage. The 34 now inching closer to the 38 here.
What a battle up front.
Here it is.
Into 1. It's where we've seen it all day. Jumps over the curb. Can't make it stick.
Little teammate work there. They weren't going to take each other out. I think Lane showed him what he had, and Chandler said, I can defend that. But it's fast, obvious right now that the 34 is faster than the 38.
And he's driving different, Michael. He's much more aggressive on the curbs, just about everywhere. He seems to be shortcutting the course just by inches where he can, shortening up the distance between 2 points. He seems very confident, very comfortable, not just banging those curbs, but giving a little bump to competitors to get himself forward. An unbelievable drive based on where he started. 26 spots he's moved up.
And you mentioned it earlier about the wake, the air off the truck in front of him, plus the view. You can't really see all these corners as well when you're sucked right up on the back of another guy. To be able to drive like that, with all that considered, it's amazing.
Watch Riggs right here. See the difference right there? He's a good 6 to 8 feet further driver's left, shortening the track up right there. The other thing running in that wake, engine gets hot, brakes get hot.
That was close.
Oh, he's going to make that dive bomb again. He's got the momentum. You can see it.
I think he's going to go for it now.
By 1.
There it is.
Still 1. Right
Here
side
comes
out of
Lane
line.
Riggs to the inside of his teammate Chandler Smith. Side by side, they touch. It's clean. He doesn't do it.
Might do it right here.
Look
Crosses
at him
them up.
back.
You can't go too wide there, Lane Riggs. Oh boy, big old slide. Now the block comes on.
Can he get it done here?
Inside.
Lane Riggs.
Inside.
Can he clear Chandler Smith?
Leaving him space.
Half of a truck length.
Wow.
Still side by side. How are they doing this?
That's good stuff.
That was excellent.
And he gets it done. Lane Riggs to the point. What a drive today.
I think he'll pull away now.
Well, we'll see. We saw this earlier with Mozak and Ben Rhodes. How much tire did Lane Riggs leave himself? He still has 3 to go in this stage, but he wants this stage win.
Fans are getting a great show today. I know walking around, people are so excited. They're used to all the other support series here with the IndyCar series, but this is something so different.
Fastest truck that last time, Jamie, was that bright yellow Menards. Ty Majeski, he had the best lap time. He's coming.
See him right there, just behind his teammate Ben Rhodes. Those ThorSport trucks looking good, but are they good enough to stop these front row motorsports
Here comes
trucks?
Majeski up the inside of Ben Rhodes. They go too wide through turn one.
You can't say enough about Landon Lewis also. He's running right in the middle of these truckers. Give it to Majeski.
Yeah, nice pass.
About a lap and a half to go before stage end.
Well, Michael, we debated at the top if it was going to be Truck Masters or Track Masters, and I'm going with Truck Masters. These guys, it doesn't come as a surprise to me. They understand how these things bounce, slide, pitch, heave, all of the dynamics of a truck. Guys with experience have the edge today.
And for those of you wondering, Dario Franchitti back in 8th. He's been top 10 all race long. James Hinchcliffe back in 22nd. He had that damage earlier. There's Hinch.
Working that gas pedal. Could hear those tires want to buzz there.
Big lift there through the kink. That's not something that Hinch would be used to through all of his years racing here. It'd be easy, wide open in an IndyCar with all that downforce.
A few laps ago for Hinch.
Turn 10.
Uh-oh.
Locked up the rear.
Oh.
Tried to whip it around.
Cost a little more time for Hinch, and that's why he's back in 22nd. Stage 1 had a nice run going, top 10. Final lap here, stage number 2.
What great racing we've seen. We were afraid of it being a bit of a slugfest, and we've seen a lot of action and a lot of aggressive driving, but some great driving as well.
Yeah, I think it's been a perfect mix of truck series aggression and excellent technique, to your point. Love this shot right here, watching these guys come through this fast chicane, especially this 34. Bam! Left sides all up in the air. Great stage for Lane Riggs.
Lane Riggs makes his way out of turn 14. Green and white checker flag in the air. Riggs wins his first stage on a road course. Heck of a drive, up 27 spots. Thrilling run with Chandler Smith, his teammate. Smith ends up second. Landon Lewis hanging on to third. Ty Majeski, Ben Rhodes, your top 5. Exciting stuff here from St. Petersburg, Florida. First time ever racing on a street course, and the boys are putting on a show. Lane Riggs, your stage winner. Welcome back to beautiful St. Petersburg, Florida, as we're racing the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on a street course for the first time in history. And we're happy to have you joining us. Jamie Little, Michael Waltrip, Townsend Bell. We have Amanda Busick and Georgia Henneberry on pit road. And a lot of fans out watching this for the first time here on the streets of St. Pete. Plenty more racing action to come your way tomorrow right here on Fox. It's the fastest racing on earth. It returns as Alex Palou, Joseph Newgarden, and Pato O'Ward lead the way as the 2026 IndyCar Series fires off at noon Eastern right here on Fox. Everybody's pumped up and ready. A lot of changes. You saw Will Power, new team this year. Love all the storylines. As we continue here at St. Pete, you see all the truckers have come to a stop for second round of stops for most of these truckers. And Georgia, you're up first.
Thanks, Jamie. It's busy down here on pit lane. Let's talk about Lane West, a bit of a standout there. The 2025 Cars Late Model Stock Tour champion, and he has a win on a road course in 2023 at Portland. He was told by his team, you are pulling away, everyone's in your windshield, and that was at the spot he was in at the time. And with 4 to go, he ran his fastest lap yet. Keep it up, said the team, and he's happy with the truck. They're just working on some damage to the left side there. Now let's talk about Connor Mozak, also a standout, but for different reasons this race. At the beginning of the race, he led laps, and he did not pit at the end of stage 1. So as you can imagine, he battled some rear grip issues as his tires kept degrading, but ultimately he had to come in on lap 35 for damage to the left side of the truck. He's going to come in again. He's on pit lane right now. The left side was still dragging, and they're going to try to salvage their day in this last stage. Amanda.
Well, Georgia Ross stage 2 was all Front Row Motorsports. It was stage 1 for Ben Rhodes, who the truck kind of fall off there in stage 2. I talked to the crew chief. He said that they simply just got that truck too tight, so they're going to make some adjustments there. But you got to remember, Ben Rhodes' mindset this season is diplomacy is out. It's all about winning. I expect this last stage to get extra spicy. And for Dario Franchitti, a lot of action down here. Jimmy Johnson actually getting in on the action, as we're probably going to show you guys, but he did throw a bag of ice into the truck for Dario Franchitti. Guys, it is rather warm down here as the sun is out here on the streets of St. Pete, but I talked to Dario ahead of this race about what success would be like for him here, and he said, I just want to know that I got the most out of this truck, that I did my job, and I had fun. And if all those things happen, you might see me again.
Ooh, so the door is open to see Dario perhaps in a truck again. I imagine he's loving every minute of this. He's been running top 10 the whole time. And it's been a fun one. We've had 4 different lap leaders today. Ben Rhodes, Chandler Smith, Connor Mozak, but that man right there, Lane Riggs, leads 3 laps and he wins stage 2.
What's happening here?
You got to flip the rope.
Lord.
I don't know what side you got to flip the rope on, but
yeah.
What's going on up there? Where's Kevin at?
Well, here. We got Kevin right here.
Moments ago in the Hollywood Hotel, apparently, we had an ice cream eating contest.
Is that your boss? Blaney said they feed us well up here in the Fox booth.
Tacos for life.
He didn't have much to say. It's the first time Harvick hasn't had much to say.
So much fun. It's the drivers only broadcast coming up at Darlington in a couple of weeks for these truckers. We have had some great times over the years. And here's our lineup. Of course, Kevin Harvick will be there in the booth. Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, they're professionals by now. And then you got Austin Cindric, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the pits.
Just a great crew and brings all the energy and excitement to the truck series. I love drivers only because these guys are the stars of NASCAR, and that's what people tune in to watch.
Cindric, he just packs his own little lunch, and he eats the whole time. And then he looks for lunch with the other drivers.
Big kid.
He is. He's a big kid. Looking forward to that in just a couple of weeks. So all the drivers were on pit road, getting adjustments, fueling up, getting tires. And this was Dario. He had some ice, shoulder sore.
Yeah. I wonder if that's seat position related from just working the steering wheel, if there's something else that's going on.
Was that the right side of the truck where he bumped the wall? And maybe like Townsend said, that seat just didn't quite like he needed and maybe hurt himself?
Yeah, I don't know, but clearly in some pain there. And Michael, most of the corners here are right-handers, so you're pulling down on that steering wheel, and it does put a lot of demand on your right shoulder. Let's see if we can dial him up real quick and find out. Hey, Dario Townsend in the Fox booth, you copy?
Chris, right, a little bit of a loose cannon. Yeah, we're out and clear, Townsend.
Hey, bud, we're just watching that last stage break, and it looks like you had an ice pack. Everything okay there in the cockpit? It looked like maybe you were struggling a little bit with your right shoulder.
Yeah, that's an old injury, and I'm fine driving. I'm just not very good at throwing baseballs or ice packs. So, no, everything's good. It's a little hot in here, I must admit. The aircon is not what I was expecting, so dealing with that. I keep touching the wall in the wrong places, damaging the front of the truck. I took out a buddy hinge at one point, which I am mortified about. I know we made a joke about it, but I'm absolutely mortified about it, and I'm going to apologize to him.
All right, well, it was a position that worked out, but you're doing a great job. Watching you do the 3-pedal thing is pretty cool. Keep it up, bud.
Thanks, pal. Yeah, I gave up the left route. I couldn't feel what was going on, and Hinge took the brunt of it.
He'll be all right.
So Dario Franchitti will restart 8th here. He's doing a heck of a job.
Grant Enfinger, haven't talked about Grant yet today, and he's driven up inside the top 10 now. He rides there in 9th, Andres Perez.
Jackson Lee, one of our first-timers in the truck series.
You can see those knees. You talked about what it's like being in one of these trucks as a tall cat.
Yeah, but look at how he's doing, up to 25th. Started all the way at the back on purpose just to kind of learn and stay out of trouble. But remember, yesterday, he couldn't even turn this thing. You can see where they've moved the steering column up probably as high as they can get it. Get his hands clear of those knees at, 6'4". It's a struggle to fit in this thing. And Michael, nobody knows it better than you do. I can't imagine all the anticipation, all the work that got here. And then yesterday he couldn't even make a corner. Now he's doing just fine behind the wheel.
A few Rams are starting to roll up the top into the top 20. Celsius on board here with Justin Haley. He's 19th. Daniel Dye ahead of him in 17th.
Justin Haley, one of 2 previous winners on road courses in the field. Ben Rhodes, the other one.
And do you know that truck over there with a 13 on it is the truck that Ben Rhodes won Daytona in? How about that? It was his backup truck, been carried around, and now the 13 is the truck that actually won Daytona.
And unfortunately, they had to use that backup
they didn't
truck
want
as
to.
of yesterday, right? Cole Butcher right there in the mix. So Lane Riggs, we showed just how good he is and how well, once he got around his teammate Townsend, we saw the potential of that truck.
But Chandler Smith knows how to cross up Lane Riggs in turn 1. So if Riggs goes deep on the brakes, it could get exciting.
Here we go. Green flag is in the air. The 3rd and final stage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series from St. Pete.
Great break there by Lane Riggs. He's going to clear his teammate.
Look at Ty Majeski, guys. He has entered the party. Lane Riggs way out front. Can Majeski pick up that 2nd spot over Chandler Smith? And he does.
Oh, and look how tight it is back there.
Landon Lewis, Ben Rhodes.
And here comes Tyler Ankrum. He's been fast all day. Look at that blue truck.
Contact right there. Tyler Ankrum got into the 45 of Landon Lewis.
And for Ankrum, the right front is totally chewed up. That's going to really hurt him on this 40-lap stint to finish.
Wow, that was just a judgment that went wrong.
Big time damage, and that's right in front of Dario Franchitti. Franchitti trying to work his way around Tyler Ankrum.
Franchitti's got to be patient here. This is where the spotters really help you out with information. They'll be telling them, hey, the truck in front of you is really torn up.
And there
Take your time, be smart, and Franchitti gets by with ease. All kinds of fuel pouring out of the back of that thing. Michael, is that normal?
No, not.
They're not done. Bumping and banging. Look at the wheel hop.
Oh, there's fuel pouring out of Franchitti's truck. I wonder if that spring retention cover got held up there.
It should clear it. It should stop doing that, though, when we burn a little fuel off. Good break there by Dario. He's doing really well.
Airport runway into turn 1. There's the 9 of Grant Enfinger.
25 of Colin Brown. He's coming.
Tyler Ankrum just continues to lose more spots. He was on the move, Michael, and then that heavy damage.
Yeah, that was aggressive move. I saw how fast his truck was, and you can see right here.
So watch Ankrum. Boy, he
didn't know that Landon was going to be off the gas so soon, and he just misjudged it.
And it's got to be awfully hard for Tyler Ankrum to see the apexes in these right-handers, because with the hood blown up like that, it's above the height of the concrete wall. And so Ankrum doesn't know exactly where to place his right front. He's got to be so careful not to clip the concrete now. Tough situation to hang on.
They're all backed up behind Tyler Ankrum.
Ben Mayer in that 4 truck. He's doing a nice job. Road racing kid.
17 years old from Maryland. The Cars Pro Late champion from last year.
How about that?
Said if I have a good run here, I might get a couple more races. So such a nice young man. We have stories from front to back in this field.
Good battles from front to back too. As you see, Perez trying to squeeze under Ankrum, couldn't quite get it done.
See the 25, Colin Brown, right in the hunt. Lane Riggs continues up front, just about a second, a little over a second now ahead of Ty Majeski.
I'd say having 3 of those Ram trucks up in the top 18 is a great run for these guys. Brand new to the series, trying to get everything worked out. See Colin Brown here. He leads the charge in 13th, getting ready to be 12th.
See what Colin Brown does here with Tyler Ankrum. Ankrum will suffer a bit through this kink with that right front damage, but boy, he hustled it through there pretty good. I think Colin Brown's thinking about it. Gonna wait for another chance.
.35 laps to go here from the streets of St. Pete.
Whoa, there's a big dive there. Is that Chris Wright in the 81? Yes.
Saw the 42 truck right there of Tyler Reif. He was stalled on the track just on the pace lap, guys, and he had to get a little jump, and now he's making his way through the field up to 14th.
Comes the dive on the brakes. Reif and Wright side by side. So tough to stay there, and all of a sudden, Wright, the 81 got into the wall, and now he's going to lose more positions.
Is that Dawson Sutton trying to charge his way up through this mess?
It sure is. I love this 3 wide again. Who's got to give?
Oh, me.
Oh, my goodness. The 16 sticks his nose in there. That's Justin Haley.
3 wide at the apex of turn 4. That will never work on an IndyCar weekend, and the truck guys showing off their
Sutton
stuff here.
Wright.
Now Wright's got his hands full with Justin Haley.
This is the battle for 15th.
This is good stuff. In NASCAR, Townsend.
Oh, we got a smoker up ahead.
In NASCAR, Townsend, sometimes the battle for 20th is more intense than the battle for the lead because everybody's just saying, I got to go. Look at this mess.
Look at Daniel Hemrick in that red and white truck. He had that damage earlier, got into his teammate. They got him taped up, you see on the right side there. He's still digging.
Boy, the 81 is just really struggling. Brake zones, power down, and now Justin Haley in that 16 Celsius truck with an easy run. Although it's like the 81 is just stronger on straight line performance. I thought Haley was going to have an easy pass up the inside. Uh-oh.
Sutton takes a look. The 13, Cole Butcher goes around.
Luckily didn't hit anything, but should have.
He was a part of that big mess that we were watching. Hopefully he can get her fired up and we can stay green.
He went right through the middle of 2 trucks there as he lost the back end. That's exactly the same accident that happened with Dario Franchitti earlier, except Franchitti was saved from Hinch.
Let's go on board with Hinch and see his view of what happened to Cole Butcher.
That's Will Hop, more than likely.
It's just like, I've seen this before with Dario.
I'm going to let this guy go on through.
Yeah.
My friend ran into me. I'm going to let him go. I don't even know him.
Another look.
Wow.
Big credit to the spotters right there, too. Probably giving Hinch the information, knowing somebody was all out of shape backing it into turn 1. Haley really wants to get by.
Doss.
Justin Haley up to 17th. 32 laps to go from St. Pete. Lane Riggs continues to lead over Ty Majeski. There's battles all over the place.
Napa knows that 1 in 4 vehicles will need a new battery this year. And that's just the tip of the electrical iceberg. That's why Napa believes in testing the electrical systems on every vehicle, from the battery to the alternator. And why we're a trusted solution for the electrical parts, tools, and expertise you need, catching problems before they become breakdowns, and keeping every vehicle and every business moving full speed ahead.
To tell you the truth, we could take or leave the extravagance, the attention, the celebrity, the bragging rights, the bravado. Because all we've ever really wanted is for every Ford driver to feel this.
That's right, Mom and Dad. My new boyfriend rides a motorcycle. Oh, it's just a cruiser for unwinding on the weekends.
Protected by America's #1 motorcycle insurer.
How responsible.
Very sensible.
And he has a tattoo.
Temporary, for my niece. She insisted.
Oh, it's cute.
Well, guess what, Mom? I chopped my hair off.
Well, I stand corrected. It's lovely.
No, it's not.
Super cute.
Very in right now.
That's my rough and tumble little girl.
You know, WeatherTech isn't just for new cars. No matter how old or new your car is, it deserves WeatherTech. With laser-measured protection for practically every car on the road, we've got you covered. Because messes don't care what year your car is. Whatever you're driving, we got it. We got it. We got it. Got it. We got it. We got it. We've got it. Oh, we got it. No matter what year your vehicle is, it deserves WeatherTech. Order your American-made protection today at WT.com. We're WeatherTech. You know we got it.
What a day. Rock and roll, let's go!
If you want an experience that wakes you up, a place where you can scream to your heart's delight, go ahead. No one will hear you anyway.
Yeah, let's go, baby!
Here, you don't just watch. You feel. Come as you are and have a damn good time.
Who is your daddy?
That rumble you hear, that growl you feel, that's us.
Tonight we got a battle in the Big East on Fox Primetime Hoops. Zubia Ejiofor and number 15 St. John's continue their fight for the conference crown against Villanova. It all begins tonight at 8 Eastern on Fox. And we welcome you back to the NASCAR Truck Series, and around goes Chris Wright. Dawson Sutton, they were digging for a long time, Michael.
Welcome back to St. Pete with that big slide and spin. This has been some intense racing.
And we still have 30 laps to go in this stage, Michael. And I just see Goodyear tires smoking left and right here as the contact has led to tire rub, to tire wear.
Got a truck stopped on track back there, guys. Tyler Ankrum is still out there with all that right front damage. Tyler Reif right there in the 42 truck, he had some damage. That's the 69 Derek White stopped on track, but we stay green for now.
This has been an intense battle right here.
You're not missing anything up front. Lane Riggs continues to charge 2.5 seconds ahead of Ty Majeski.
Watch this. That's a lot of speed into a corner. Chris Wright wasn't about to make that turn, but luckily he found a place to spin pretty easily and no contact to speak of.
Could have been some of that wheel hop that we talk about as the caution is out.
5th caution for today.
You got to be proud of your buddy Dario. He's just been right there all day long, right in the mix and steadily in the top 10. Running 7th.
I mean, he's made it here to stage 3. He now has a caution to settle back down, think about everything that he's learned through these stints, and talk to his team a little bit, think about technique, maybe make some adjustment. We know he's hot in there. He told us that earlier, and he's squeezing that thing with a vengeance. He needs to get hydrated.
Looks like maybe some Gatorade in that bottle.
Not sure there's been a lot of heavy cardio for Dario Franchitti these last 10 or 12 years. He has a lot of fun going all over the world, driving cool vintage cars, doing fun events. But there's nothing like the temperatures in these cockpits. I don't know. You've driven these things for years. It's got to be hot in there.
Some of the hottest I'd ever been was out in California at Sears Point running the road course, because you work so hard on left and right and braking. There's a lot of physical things that go into the performance of the car, and if you're hot, it just adds to the...
And then you get a caution and you heat soak, right? You slow down, there's no air flowing through.
See Hinch getting a drink on board with Justin Haley here. You see the lockup into turn 1. Around goes Chris Wright, and we're under caution here for the 5th time. Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, live from St. Petersburg, Florida. Michael, this is not a shot that we typically see for the truckers, some yachts, and
I think it's lovely.
Beautiful waterways.
I'm enjoying my experience here in St. Pete. What a fun racetrack, too. These guys are really going at it. We're heating things up.
Love this doubleheader this weekend right here on Fox. The Firestone Grand Prix of St. Pete coming up tomorrow at 12 Eastern. Townsend Bell, the analyst, he'll be there as well, so he's double dipping. And then race day, 2:30 Eastern for the Cup Series over at Circuit of the Americas in Austin. Of course, green flag at 3:30. And hey, we're having so much fun with the doubleheader this weekend with trucks and IndyCar. We're going to do it next weekend. It's a desert double IndyCar on Saturday and the Straight Talk 500 on Sunday. I'm looking forward to that. I'll be covering both races, kind of bridging that gap and bringing some drivers who are watching, and it'll be great.
It's going to be fun to watch IndyCar. You know, we've been there many times, but it's been a few years, and certainly the first time IndyCar's raced since Phoenix has been reconfigured. Turns 1 and 2 in a totally different place now than we're used to.
Unbelievable speeds. We saw them test there a few weeks ago. Did you see some drivers making their way down pit road? We have some takers. Top off, make some adjustments here, Michael?
These guys were just outside the top 15. Nathan Nicholson's had a good run in that 76 truck. I saw him come to pit road. And there's Hinch getting a little bit of a adjustment of some sort.
I'd like to see them hand him a fresh water bottle. I mean, as hard as those guys were drinking during the caution, it's hot in there, I can tell.
Is.
And I'm guessing they're out of fluids.
Let's get an update on Grant Enfinger, Georgia.
Well, you guys brought him up a little bit earlier today, but I really wanted to highlight him. 23rd to 8th right now for Enfinger. But the most special part of this is that before this weekend, he'd never even seen a street course other than on television. So now that he's here, he's really excited about it. He was struggling with drive off the corner, and they fixed that in the first stage break. So he's much happier with the truck. They're good on fuel, but it was going to be close before this caution. So this is going to help them as well as everyone in the field. But a solid day for Enfinger so far in his first street course ever.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. You know, Grant's he's a champ. He can get it done anywhere, and just showing his skills on this street course is not surprising at all.
So I look at those top 4 names, Michael, and all I see is experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just guys, we talked about this since the beginning. What's going to win out here if you know the track or you know the truck? And so far, knowing the truck is what really matters.
Well, there's strength in numbers, too. There's a lot more guys that know the truck. And there was just a couple of heavy hitters that are world-class road racers. And right now, the truckers have their number.
Amanda.
You guys were just talking about the experience, and I had a long conversation with Ty Majeski about that earlier today, about what we would see at the end of this race. Would it be track experience? Would it be truck experience? And he said you will see truck experience supersede towards the end of this. And as Townsend, as you just mentioned out, look within that top 10, you got Dario Franchitti, but the others are some of the series regulars that we see week in, week out. The other thing with Ty Majeski, he is in that bright yellow 88 Menards truck that he took over. It's been an iconic truck here in the series. John Menard is here this weekend on top of Mike Curb. So it is a massive weekend for Thor Sport, and for Ty Majeski to start 22nd today and have an opportunity to take it to Lane Riggs on the restart here. It's his best one yet.
Absolutely. Well, we talk about the experience of the truckers. How about this guy? Landon Lewis back in 5th. Doesn't have truck experience, not much, only a handful. Doesn't have experience here at St. Pete, so he's putting it all together and just showing how good he is. This 19-year-old from Ocean Isle Beach, North Carolina, doing a heck of a job. We mentioned Ron Hornaday is his driver coach. He lives with Ron's family. They have helped this young man. Kevin Harvick represents him. That's what it means. Like, that's how good this kid is. So hats off to him running top 5.
This is huge. What a great run.
Let's take a look back at how we got to this point today. It's been a busy one, guys.
A lot of crazy action. You can see Franchitti bouncing off the wall there. He's not the only one bouncing off walls.
Listen, Dario's not used to sitting on the left-hand side. He's used to sitting in the middle. Justin Haley there down in turn 1, getting turned around, and then Dario Franchitti backing into his longtime friend James Hinchcliffe. Not much damage to Dario's truck, but quite a bit to the right side of the 77 as Lane Riggs pushes his way forward.
Yeah, Lane Riggs says, "Excuse me, I'm coming through," and he is doing just that. Big crash here, as you see.
Tanner Gray, big damage.
Into the wall. Ben Rhodes took control of this race early, but there's been a lot of movers.
Yeah, Adam Andretti, big contact with that.
Christian Eckes, teammates Daniel Hemrick with some damage there. A lot of wrecked trucks, but they're still digging here.
Yeah, Chandler Smith with a great move there on that restart, the 38 to the front. More problems for Hinch. Big rear lockup down in turn 10, and then just couldn't quite get the 180 spin done. Lost more positions, but this was a pretty slick move. Too wide through turns 4 and 5.
And you didn't see that coming, did you, Townsend? I mean, that's a tight place on this racetrack, and they were making it work.
But two guys that understand slip angle with their trucks, space, kind of where all four paws are, if you will, on the animal. These are not young cubs. These are grown bears getting after it. And I think if there's a common trend for the top 5, it's that their trucks are clean too. To get to the top 5 in stage 3, you can't have hit something too hard on your way there.
Well, we saw that with Tyler Ankrum. He was charging one of the fastest trucks on the track, made a slight mistake entering turn 1, tore his right front fender off, and he's been in trouble ever since.
So side by side, Lane Riggs inside. And for the first time today, Ty Majeski restarting on the front row, on the outside. Green flag is in the air, 25 laps to go here at St. Pete.
Majeski with the advantage had a great power down out of the final corner.
There's Ben Rhodes, guys. They worked on this race truck into 3rd for him. Chandler Smith back to 4th. It's a battle up front, though.
Oh, risky for Majeski there to try to hang on the outside of turn 2. There was a touch with Riggs, and now all of a sudden the 99 of Ben Rhodes with a run.
We know how strong that 99's been all day. Can he get to the outside?
You see the damage on the left front of the 88. You see it right there, that contact.
So tight, such tight racing. There you see Caden Honeycutt has some damage trying to fight his way back to the front in that 11 truck.
Grant Enfinger, Georgia talked about him, running 8th right now. First time ever seeing a street course, never raced on it. One of the veterans of this truck series.
That's a pretty cool sight. Just got them strung out here, bumper to bumper. No dive bombs. You don't see that very often today.
5 different leaders today. Lane Riggs continues to lead here.
Wow.
16 and counting.
Nice.
1.2 seconds.
Nice lap
on
there.
Majeski after that one lap.
One of the fastest laps of the day right there that Riggs just turned.
And Lane Riggs looks more comfortable than anybody I've seen in the field with going deep into the brake zones. He's got something figured out where he's confident. Everybody else, I think, is a little worried about getting wheel hop and overcooking it. But Lane Riggs right at home, going hero deep into turns 1, turns 4, and turns 10. And there's a lot of lap time there if you can hang on. Oh,
Gio Ruggiero goes around, gives up a lot of track position.
He was running with Dario Franchitti. He was 6th, Franchitti was 7th.
He's got some damage too.
I think in that left side door and that left front's pretty chewed up. And
James
Hinchcliffe's
Hinchcliffe
backwards.
is around.
I jinxed us. I said
Little
we were
Jimmy.
running nice in a line, bumper to bumper, no dive bombs. Now we're seeing carnage.
Precarious spot there. Trying to refire it.
Hopefully he can get it going.
Riding on board with Hinch.
He tried to shove it in there into turn 5 and just lost the back end.
It's like, I've been watching these guys do this all day. I'm going to try this move.
Yeah.
See right there, red and white truck for Caden Honeycutt. Guys, he is on the move. He ran 10th for about 15 laps, and now he's up to 7th, trying to pick off Dario Franchitti for another spot, and he does it into 6th. Franchitti back to 7th.
Franchitti's getting another challenge there. As Grant Enfinger wants some of that Dollar Tree truck.
Wonder how Dario's feeling in the cockpit. You know, we've been at this now for almost 2 hours as the caution comes out for an issue right here in turn 9. Got to think it's awfully hot for Dario, and it's been so long since he's been in this kind of situation, racing in anger.
See, White has gone around and stopped on the racetrack, so that brought out our 6th caution for today. There's that wrecker. Does he just need a push?
A push or a hook?
Or a pull.
Well, Lane Riggs has to feel good about what he has. How about the Fords up there? 4 in the top 4 positions. Landon Lewis in a Chevrolet. Caden Honeycutt, Dario Franchitti in the Toyotas.
And what about the Rams? We've got 4 of them.
They're moving forward, Michael. They're going the right direction.
4 of them in the top 20. Talked about the 76 of Nathan Nicholson having a good run. Until this. Oh.
That was a big hit.
Oh, and that's Minnie Terrell in that 14. He's into the outside wall.
Day in St. Petersburg, Florida. First time we're seeing the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on the streets of St. Pete. First ever street course for them, making some history today. And it's been exciting. We're happy to have you join us on this Saturday afternoon. I'm Jamie Little, joined by Townsend Bell and Michael Waltrip. Townsend, what do you think so far, your first official NASCAR race in the booth?
I think it's been so exciting. I love watching the technique of all these drivers, especially in the truck series. You have so much roll and pitch and yaw of the trucks. You can really see them moving around and appreciate the artistry of the drivers.
You also can appreciate how they're not as shy to run into one another when necessary. Seems to be a lot of that going on, too.
Got a whole lot more steel to work with than carbon fiber of an IndyCar.
Well, we've been talking about Dario quite a bit and his great run today. Let's hear from his crew chief, Amanda.
Yeah, his crew chief wanted to be named as the chief annoyance officer here today, but you told me originally you wanted to be called Dario's #1 fan. How proud are you of him today?
Very proud. And I do have both those titles today. It's been a lot of fun. It's just great watching him get a feel for the truck and get a rhythm. You know, now we're to the point of the race where pushing and shoving is going to happen, and he's not used to having fenders. So I think he'll behave and be very respectful. I just, hope that is reciprocal.
I've been watching you during these pit stops. You've been up and down off the pit box, throwing ice to Dario. You were holding the fuel can. What's your level of anxiety, Jimmy?
Anxiety is low, but excitement is high. He's been sitting on the couch so much that he finds the truck to be too hot, so I had to get him some ice, got him some Gatorade, and a few other elements, just knowing how the pit stop functions work, trying to help and be there for the guys getting the truck ready.
You ready for this in San Diego?
Yes, truck racing is so fun. I've had the greatest time here, and I've only done one truck race in my career, so to go back in San Diego, racing my home turf, it's going to be a great weekend. And this is my first real experience with Tricon, and hats off to Kevin Ray and everybody here at Tricon. They've got an incredible program, Toyota support. This thing's rocking and rolling. Glad to be here.
We can't wait to see it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's a great point. Jimmy Johnson going to be on board the one truck in San Diego at his home track. That'll be the second street course race. That's Father's Day weekend in June, so you'll have to tune in. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, we got an IndyCar race somewhere, I know, that weekend. But what a year it is for motorsports to be in San Diego, 250th celebration of our country. And, we'll be IndyCar racing in Washington, D.C. around the National Mall on Fox in late August as well. So just a wonderful year for American racing in this event in San Diego. I would expect an awesome display from our armed forces on that weekend. The truck drivers are going to have a blast.
Well, we're seeing what they're capable of, right, Michael?
Yeah, they can adapt to anything and just do some amazing driving, the curb hopping, and like I said earlier, how good you have to be stuck behind a truck, not being able to see where you're going with all the different apexes and angles you've got to take and be able to pull off passes like that.
And now the truck regulars have 60 laps of race experience. We got 5 laps of practice experience from yesterday. So that advantage for guys like Dario Franchitti has largely faded a bit as guys like Riggs and Majeski, Rhodes, Chandler Smith, they've got this place pretty dialed. They know kind of inch perfect now where to place their truck, how things are going to run around here, and they're all geared up, tightening their belts for a 20-lap dash here. It's going to be fun.
Just saw Connor Mozak. Look at the damage on so many of these trucks. Connor Mozak was lights out earlier on. He led from the pole for a handful of laps, had that damage. He's back buried in the field.
You pointed at the timing screen during the break, Michael, at this guy, Jackson Lee, in the number 22 Ford Racing truck, started dead last. He couldn't even turn the steering wheel yesterday. Oh, boy, the steering wheel is crazy loose. Did you see that? Look at this thing.
Oh, it's wobbly.
Oh, wobbly. That's a lot to deal with.
That's not normal, is it?
No, not at all.
So he's in 18th right now. That's certainly something we're going to stay on top of.
Just taking a look right here at this little hub mount and the steering wheel. I don't know if it's loose on the hub or the hub's just not tight to the steering shaft.
Something might be.
Let's just...
But you're right, Townsend. Just being 6'4" or 5" in one of these trucks. I raced a truck at Daytona, and I had to drive with my left leg folded under my right leg. There wasn't room for me to use my left leg on the brake because my legs were too long. And so I drove one-footed with one leg crossed. And this is a road course. You can't do that here, obviously, but that's the situation that he's facing.
Probably hardest thing for you was getting into the pit box.
Yes, it was a difficult
Turning
task.
back right.
But this is a whole different story.
Did you see Lane Riggs cleaning up? I mean, that was cool.
You like those tires that clean, or do you want them? I mean, that's a little bit hot, probably.
But you talk about car control, and he knows he's got to get debris off his tires. We heard Ben Rhodes talk about that a little bit earlier. It took, I think they said 6 or 8 corners to get the debris off, and Lane Riggs doing it on the throttle and laying down the stripes before the green.
I think they're hot. I think
love
he's
it.
ready for this restart. Lane Riggs has led 21 laps. We're riding on board the front bumper cam of Ben Rhodes. Hear him go through the gears.
Best seat in the house. He could be doing play-by-play right now, Ben Rhodes.
Did you see
Taking a peek to the inside.
Majeski dove over there to try to take some air away, slow that 34 truck down.
Majeski's got it.
Riggs went over the curb and he lost that position. Ty Majeski to the lead. Lane Riggs, Ben Rhodes back in the hunt. Look who's coming up, taking a peek on the inside. That's Chandler Smith in the 38. Landon Lewis right there, and Caden Honeycutt, guys, still making up spots up to 6.
He's just getting his way through this field. He's got a really fast number 11 truck. Another spot right there. Grant Enfinger is the next to challenge Lewis for that spot. This is all happening right in Dario's lap, just right out ahead of him. He's having to watch all this mess.
And Dario knows I just got to keep my truck clean here and give myself a chance, stay out of the chaos of this restart. Things starting to string out right now, but man, I've been so impressed with Lane Riggs today. Right back on the tail as the 88 Ty Majeski gets wide. He's in the grass and into the tires.
He gets it back on course. How many spots does he give up? 4.
It's going to be more than that, I bet, when he gets down to turn 1 because of the fact that those tires will have mud all over them.
Ty Majeski with a big mistake. Loses 5 spots. Lane Riggs back to the lead.
Not sure what happened there with the 88.
I think he just overcooked the corner.
Seems like it. I've been talking about how good Lane Riggs is on the brakes, and just watching Majeski. Can't tell if he got some wheel hop there, but I just think he sent it in a little too hard, like you said.
Just helpless at that point, trying to get back on the road. Luckily, no more damage than he did.
Wow.
How cool is that? I could look at that all day. That looks so fun. Looks like he's stabilized here. He's got a really fast truck, didn't do any damage to it. Maybe he can fight his way back up there.
Still looks like it's handling all right. Majeski still running in 6th there. Has got to regroup. Maybe make a change in the cockpit with the brake bias knob. It's such a powerful tool for settling down these brake zones. If you're locking the fronts, you'll dial that knob to move pressure to the rear. If you're getting loose, like the back end starting to come around, you can dial that back to the front. You're constantly working that as the tires wear. You got to stay after it.
Lane Riggs just led his 23rd lap of this race. Ben Rhodes, the guy behind him, has led 22 laps today. He's not letting him get away.
Well, he was 2/10 faster that last lap. The orange truck behind Riggs. Ben Rhodes, fastest on the track. And he is hounding him. And look who's up to fourth. Caden Honeycutt.
He's grabbed another gear, Michael. We didn't really talk about him in the first two stages. He has come to life, this 11 truck on the move.
Had that damage to the left rear, but they got it taped up on the last stop. And that Safe Light Toyota looks to have every bit of speed as the top three runners right now.
Lane Riggs, the leader, just off to a bad start this season in a points deficit. They truly needed this kind of run today. We'll see if he can hang on to get the win.
They're going to have many more runs like this year, Jamie. He's going to be one of the championship contenders for sure. You see Majeski starting to creep his way back up on Landon Lewis. He's got it. He's got that truck working. Just overcooked one corner and it cost him.
Nice Motorsports. They're fielding trucks for so many youngsters this year, Michael, and one of them is that man Landon Lewis in the 45 doing an incredible job.
He is that.
Ty Majeski just getting by there in turn one, puts him up to 5th position right now. As we understand that Dario Franchitti, unfortunately, is on pit road. We don't know why, but this would be an unscheduled stop with 16 to go.
Ty Majeski was so impressive. Oh, you see Dario Franchitti there.
Overshot the pit. They rolled him back.
But did they come in just because they decided to take tires? The 91 just got turned around. Christian Eckes.
That's Christian Eckes. That's the second incident that we've seen today. Comes out right in front of Frankie Muniz. Take another look at that.
Saw Jimmy Johnson throwing a squeegee, I think, to one of the crew members to try to clean up the windshield there. Let's take a look back in turn 4.
Oh, Eckes gave room.
Tyler Reif got into him, and around goes Jake Garcia. He's able to clear them.
Reif missed the apex of that corner, and I think that Christian gave him room, but Reif made contact with him.
Now we're into a kind of an unknown territory in this stage. 15 to go, but they've done almost 25 laps, Michael. At no point during this race weekend, this very first event at St. Pete, do any of these trucks or drivers have experience on this many laps on the tires. So it's a real unknown. What's your balance going to do? How are these things going to hang on? How much fall off do you get in these final 15 laps? There's still a huge demand on the Goodyears to get to the finish.
Yeah, these guys that are running up front, though, they have the experience of what these trucks do to tires and how they fall off. Not specifically ever on a street course, of course, but they've got a feel for it. And you know how good they are, Townsend. They have an ability just to manage things as they fall off.
And the key is not reacting to, but anticipating. And the only way you can anticipate is if you have experience, if you've been there before and sort of inherently know what to expect out of the tires so that you can make the adjustments to your technique before it becomes a problem.
Well, so far, Lane Riggs doing everything that he needs to do. He's had some good runs on road courses in the past, Michael and Townsend, but 10th is the best finish he's ever had. So certainly doing an incredible job today, and what a moment it would be if he can hang on and get his first career road course win on a street course, by the way, for the first time.
Still hammering those curbs is the 34 with a lot of aggression, but he's made it work.
So Lane Riggs over Ben Rhodes, Chandler Smith, Caden Honeycutt up to 4th, Ty Majeski, your top 5. Well, Georgia's down on pit lane. I know there's a lot of interested IndyCar drivers roaming around. Who do you have, Georgia?
There sure is. I've migrated from pit lane. I'm now back in the IndyCar paddock. As you know, this is the first of its kind, an IndyCar, NASCAR, doubleheader weekend, and we get to do it again next weekend, which is so exciting. Santino Ferrucci, he's got 7 NASCAR starts, which I just learned, and that's very exciting. Yourself, you have been watching this race. What have you thought about it so far?
I have. I mean, I forget how loud these things are, man. It's nice to hear a V8 going around. Yeah, definitely been rooting on Dario. He's having a great race so far. It looks like he might have just pitted. So, you know, you see some. Since there's no qualifying, it was quite interesting to see the grid start the way it has. Got to see Riggs drive to the front. You know, Colin Braun's now up there, so it's quite a couple of people that I've gotten to meet. You know, as well. Daniel Dye moving up the field. It's quite an interesting race. Honestly, it's been a lot cleaner than I thought. But then again, once I saw Dario and Hinch get into it, I wasn't surprised. I mean, a little bit of rear locking and some rear hop. I mean, I fought that when I raced in Xfinity, so, but it's been pretty funny.
No qualifying for the trucks, but you have to qualify later today. So we'll let you go get ready for that. Thanks, Santino.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Georgia. It was so much fun having Santino in what is now the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. He's such a big personality. He ruffled some feathers, but had fun doing it, and it's a shame we couldn't see him in more races, but glad to see we'll see him out on track later today and tomorrow for AJ Foyt Racing.
Yeah, he's a fun driver to watch, especially on short ovals in the IndyCar Championship. He's creative. He tries moves in places that others won't or don't, and he's been a real joy to watch him develop in the series. I've been watching Ty Majeski here these last few laps. He's really starting to slide around in that fifth-place truck. I'm afraid he might burn these tires up a little too much in the closing phases.
Well, he's going for it. That last time by, he was the second fastest truck on the track, just off of our leader. So he's definitely got some pace, but will it hold on?
Well, we talked about Jackson Lee, guys, and what he has going on. Look at those knees cramped up with the loose steering wheel.
Yeah,
it's not as bad here.
Well, it's loaded right there, but boy, you watch him change direction. That thing looks like it's, I don't know what's going on. Terrifying.
Well, he's falling back, and I think that
could
be
reason.
part of it. Yes,
yeah.
Yes, sir. He's got to be careful.
I'm glad he is.
There goes our leader, Lane Riggs.
Around Jackson Lee, they're hopeful if today went okay that he'd be back in a truck at some point this season, and I hope for him we do see that. Talented young man. Got his hands full in there for sure.
He does. Spends a good part of his year racing in the Lamborghini Super Trofeo series. Those are high horsepower cars as well, but a lot lighter than a Craftsman truck here. Look at Hinch.
He's on the move, guys. He's up to 13th, trying to pick off Justin Haley for 12th here.
And you know he's bringing along with him Connor Mosak. Connor's right behind Hinch, and we saw the trouble he was having earlier. These guys are on the move.
Both with very damaged trucks from multiple incidents.
See how much curb Jimmy Hinch takes right here. Fair bit.
Great views.
All right up on the back of the 16. He's going to try to square things up and hold it tight.
Haley's up to 12th.
Hinch with a pretty good run here. Is that the caution out? No, what were those lights blinking?
Must have been a reflection. Another guy that's on the
brake
move.
Lights. Yeah, it looked all of a sudden like caution lights on the back of Haley's truck. Hinch just got in there deep. They're side by side. Got him.
Clears him.
All clear, all clear.
Nice
Love
job.
to hear that as a driver, huh? Hinch up to 11th. Watching him masterfully race around this track reminds me of his first career IndyCar Series win. Great driver, big personality, and obviously he's made the transition to IndyCar on Fox. Been an analyst for years.
Looks very relaxed behind the wheel right now, smooth.
And making some great lap time.
Yeah.
It's impressive. It's got to be so cool for these guys to get outside of their comfort zone and do something new and different.
And you know what it's going to be like for Hinch and for Dario and some of the other first-timers tonight. They're going to go to bed thinking, oh, I wish we were racing tomorrow. There's so much I would do different.
And big smiles telling people what happened.
As the leader crosses the line, we've reached our Craftsman. 10 to go as Lane Riggs continues to lead over 2 seconds ahead of Ben Rhodes.
Here comes
Look at this
Majeski.
battle for third.
He's going to get there.
Ty Majeski over Chandler Smith. Oh, smoking those tires.
God, that's tight.
Majeski.
He made that mistake, Jamie, but he has rebounded and is showing that 88 truck.
Fastest lap, last lap around. Ty Majeski with a 79.1. That was 0.3 quicker than the leader.
Majeski overshot turn 14 earlier while leading. Gave up about 6 spots. Now he's back up to third. Does he have enough time?
Got a
10 laps seems like a long ways to go around here.
I would be a little bit surprised. I don't know about you two colleagues if there wasn't another caution.
Well, 140 corners. I just did the math. So
did you carry your one that time?
I didn't have to. Majeski looking awfully good now. Had that bobble earlier. Wow, look at him go bounding over that apex curve. But right here is where he outbraked himself to give Lane Riggs the position. But it seems like he's made some adjustments maybe to his technique, maybe to his brake bias, and he is flying. Let's see lap times this time through.
He had to pull off that pass, so it's probably going to be a little bit off.
Ty Majeski fastest the lap before. Now Lane Riggs with the fastest lap.
We'll keep an eye on that and see who can close. Only problem that Majeski has, he's got over 5 seconds he has to make up, and that's not going to happen without a caution.
That's right.
There you see closing in on the back, Chandler Smith.
For those looking for the start of the number 14 Maryland and number 8 Michigan women's basketball, that game is starting right now on FS2 and also on the Fox Sports and Fox 1 apps. We'll get you there on Fox at the conclusion of our coverage here from St. Petersburg.
We got a lot of action left here before we do conclude.
Yes, we do. 8.5 laps still to go. Lane Riggs up front. Ben Rhodes, Ty Majeski just keeps digging over Chandler Smith in fourth. Caden Honeycutt, top 5.
I love this view, looking down on this beautiful facility and seeing these truckers mix it up. What a great trip it's been to Florida.
I hope they come back.
Me too.
I didn't know what to expect, but man, when I watch the trucks go ripping through, say, turns 11 and 12 at speed, bouncing over the curbs, it looks like they're made for this place.
That's
they
right.
look very much at home on this very track surface as Majeski locks up once again, along with Chandler Smith getting a little wide in turn 1. So these guys are pushing the brake zones every single lap, sometimes at the limit, sometimes over the limit.
Several guys having 7th, Colin Brown 8th in that Ram, highest running Ram truck.
That's a great run from Colin Brown.
Ben Mayer is in 10th.
Daniel Hemrick.
Wow.
We saw the damage with his teammate. He's up to 9th.
What a rebound as we hop on board with Colin. That's Perez just ahead of him. Hear him bumping that rev limiter.
If somebody's not calling Colin Brown for San Diego, you're missing out. Road course ace. Having a great day here today. It's been so long since he's been in a truck, been in anything NASCAR related, no stock car experience over the last at least 12 years.
This has really got to put a smile on Ram's face, though, coming new to this series, knowing the challenges. We ran a couple of drafting tracks, Daytona, Daytona, Atlanta, and now we come to St. Pete, a road course. We've never done this before. They've got their arms around this, it appears.
Well, one of the great things about throwing really experienced names behind the wheel in these first few races, Colin Brown, Tony Stewart, you're getting a ton of feedback as a manufacturer. You get so much experience coming back to you about where you stand on the super speedways, where you stand here on the streets. And I think it just helps advance that Ram program as quickly as possible. They can get to that winning destination earlier by getting, some of the very best to race and give them feedback.
Ram brand new into the truck series. We welcome them back. 5 truck operation. That's a lot to bite off, but they are doing it. And their best finish so far this year, 7th at Daytona with Butterbean Queen. Right now, Colin Brown running 8th. So
good stuff.
Perhaps could better that.
Daniel Dye back in 17th inside the top 20, just ahead of Butterbean Queen. What a flawless drive this has been.
Sensational.
Lane Riggs just getting it done.
So far back.
I'm afraid to do the math on 14 times 7, but there's still a lot of turns left, Townsend. We still got a lot to go through to get to the finish.
98.
Ooh, that's impressive.
Lane Riggs started 28th today, and that's because he finished 31st in Daytona and 27th last week at Atlanta. So what a comeback, but we knew it wouldn't be very long for Lane Riggs and that bunch. You see plenty more racing action to come right here on Fox. From St. Petersburg, you've got the IndyCar Grand Prix at 12 Eastern. And then 2:30 Eastern, race day begins on Fox for the Cup Stars. Looking forward to that.
How fun was it to have our big noon green flag today here from St. Pete on Fox? What a great day of racing.
We were the big noon show, weren't we?
I know Tyler Reddick's on pole for the Cup race tomorrow, but who do you like, Michael, down the stretch, over the course of the full race at COTA?
SVG.
Yeah, but he's deep. He's 16th or something.
Yeah, he qualified outside. I don't know. I picked Reddick, and I do a little pre-race pick, and he was my #1 pick just because no one's ever won the first 3 in a row.
Yep.
And if he does it, I wanted to be on it, and so he's my main pick. But there's just so many talented racers. Ross Chastain's good on the road course. He's second, so it's really hard to pick a single guy, but I'd love to see Reddick pull it off. As you see the battle here, or excuse me, that's a lap truck he's getting. I thought somebody was coming after Majeski's back there.
Yeah, that's Gio Ruggiero, who has had a pretty tough mid part of the race, contact earlier, and just kind of struggling to hang on to the lead lap. Goes a lap down with 5 to go.
Gio Ruggiero back in 26th. Tell you, Ben Rhodes has closed that gap a bit, guys.
And so is Majeski. He ran like a second faster the last lap or so. Majeski's going to get there. I said he couldn't get there, but he's closed that gap tremendously.
So you got to wonder, did Lane Riggs push too hard, too early, and is now paying the price with tires that are just used up, and maybe Rhodes and Majeski and their setup a little bit more patient? If you look at the last lap times, Majeski was about 0.6 of a lap quicker than the leader Riggs. This is not over, guys.
Not at all. I feel like maybe that Riggs might have got hung up behind some lap traffic, because I saw one lap where he lost almost a second, and you said there 0.6 the last time.
Look how close, guys. As they come out of 14, it'll be 4 laps to go from right here in St. Pete.
And a ton of lap trucks.
Second, third, right there.
A ton of lap trucks up ahead. Look at the 3 on the straightaway. So Lane Riggs has his work cut out for him.
Stuart Friesen just ahead of this group.
I don't know what went down, because I watched timing and scoring, and he was 5 seconds behind 3 laps ago.
He's kind of consolidated again, though. Lane Riggs quickest on that last lap at a 79.7. Rhodes at a 79.9. Majeski 79.8.
Must have got caught with some lap traffic. As you see, that's going to be a factor as well.
Mini Tyrell, they got to work their way around. Stuart Friesen as well, and contact with Stuart Friesen and our leader, Lane Riggs.
That's going to be costly.
Does he have any damage?
Yes, he does, to the left rear. It didn't look too hard, but the bodywork definitely chewed up. Look at this, Rhodes right there.
I think more is just a loss of traction, Jamie. He's sliding off that corner.
Boy, Rhodes with a big run.
He's going to get there.
Ben Rhodes wants to reclaim this lead. He's taking a look.
Clear.
He has time.
But nobody's been better on the brakes than Lane Riggs today. He's able to go deeper, more consistently than anybody else, and he's doing it again right there. Rhodes got in too deep. He runs way wide. This is going to give Majeski a chance to get closer.
This is crazy stuff.
Front Row Motorsports out front. You got Thor Sport second and third behind him.
Another lap truck that he's going to catch at an inopportune time.
That's Mini Tyrell just ahead of them. You know, the spotters are telling him leaders are coming.
Not that easy to get out of the way, by the way, on the streets of St. Pete. There's debris everywhere offline. It is, it's a lot more difficult here than on an oval to help that leader coming through. Mini Tyrell now, he's going to be bunching these guys up through the tight sections, turns 5, 6, and 7.
Oh, this is tough sledding, too, to try to pick his way through this.
And he gets around Mini Tyrell to the side. Is there time for Ben Rhodes to get around and clear him as well?
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, runs wide, though.
Tyrell was right at the apex of that kink as Ben Rhodes was coming flying through. That was pretty dicey.
The front 3 are around.
3 Fords up here battling it out.
Look
Ben
at
Rhodes in hot again.
Ben wants it bad.
Ben Rhodes all over the bumper of Lane Riggs.
Keep turning right.
A little bit of a gap. Nice.
2 laps to go from St. Pete. 2 laps to get it done. Can Lane Riggs hang on?
Ty Majeski still very much in the mix as well in that 88 as Rhodes gets all squirrely coming out of turn 1, chewing up those tires.
Aren't you loving what we got ourselves into here? This is good stuff.
62 races since Ben Rhodes went to victory lane. Hard to even believe, but he wants it.
You see him showing that nose. He wants Lane Riggs to know he's there and can pounce.
As much as these trucks have been sliding around today, as a driver, you've just got to coach yourself. Stay smooth. Roll on the power. Don't spin up those rear tires at corner exit. And we understand that maybe fuel is becoming an issue. Amanda.
Oh, it absolutely is. I was just talking to Ben Rhodes, crew chief, and he said, we have enough if we don't get green, white, checker out of this. But when it comes to Ty Majeski, Joe Shear Jr. looked at me as well and said, I don't know if we got it. But the big key here, Lane Riggs, his crew chief keeps asking, is it sputtering? Is it sputtering? Only bring this thing to pit road if you can't make it.
And how do you back down when you got these guys breathing down your neck? The next time by, they're going to see the white flag.
Majeski inside the 99.
Another way.
Lane Riggs is loving this.
Yes.
Battle it out, fellas. I want to go.
White flag is in the air.
He's shaking his truck around, maybe running out of gas with Lane Riggs.
We saw it happen last week to Ben Rhodes. He ran out of fuel. You see Ty Majeski into second. A little bump from Ben Rhodes as he moves into third.
Wow, what a race.
Lane Riggs has got to love what he's seeing behind him. The 23-year-old from Bahama, North Carolina, the son of a veteran NASCAR driver. He grew up around this. And he didn't grow up street racing, Michael. Didn't grow up road course racing.
But ever since he showed up here, Jamie, we've known he's a special talent. He's just a guy that gets it done on any type of racetrack. And he's showing that. Oh, look, he's taking his truck around.
I was just thinking these are all Fords.
Weave it as much as you can.
And they're weaving. Lane Riggs is in trouble.
Can he hang on a half lap, less than a half lap to go for the 34 of Lane Riggs? Does he have enough fuel to make it? Ty Majeski is there. 2 more turns.
Diving right to your bumper. He missed.
He missed.
We're going to be good.
And he does it. Lane Riggs. He sees the checkered flag. It is in the air, and it's Lane Riggs wins the first ever street course circuit for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Woo. What a show.
Oh, my God. Let's go.
How about all the pressure, the pressure of those guys running him down, and then he starts running out of gas on top of that.
That is a lot on a young man's shoulders. I don't know this kid like you guys do, but what I do know is that I love the best driver won the race today. He simply mastered the streets of St. Pete, coming from way back in the field and demonstrating technique that was just superior on the brake zones, on the restarts. Brilliant job.
And you got to give it up for him. I mean, there's so much pressure, and he just executed perfectly, like you said.
6th career win in his 57th start.
He deserves some
gas for a burnout, boys.
Okay. See a little burnout for this crowd here in St. Pete.
He deserves some fish and chips.
For sure.
Hey, Hinch brought it home in a top 10.
Look at that.
Pretty cool.
Waving to the fans. IndyCar's been coming here since 2005. Never before have they seen the trucks of NASCAR, and they saw it today.
And it was a show.
Well, hopefully he's got enough juice left for a burnout they've never seen either.
What a great day. NASCAR come to St. Pete, and they delivered.
Well beyond everyone's expectations, frankly. We thought this was going to be largely caution, a ton of crashes, chaos, and there was some of it, but there was just enough.
Just enough.
What there was more of was great race car driving, and that's what I think is so cool.
6 cautions today, 4 of those 4 incidents. So like you said, not what we expected. Lane Riggs burning it down. He led 40 laps today.
Crew chief saying,
yeah, easy, buddy.
Easy on that engine. It's a winner.
Dylan Capello, his crew chief, you saw him jumping up in the air. It's exciting. You want to be the first to win at something for the first time.
What about Cole Butcher? You talked about the great runs other people. Hey, it's a backup truck. He got it all the way up to 14th.
The kid got half a lap in practice before he knocked down one of the concrete walls. That's amazing.
I mean, there's so many great stories in that top 20. We saw Tanner Gray. They got 20th there, stuffed in the wall. Was able to recover and get a top 20.
Yeah, Colin Brown in that ram with a great result in 9th as well. I don't know where Riggs found all this fuel, but he's still going.
Landon Lewis, the youngster we talked about.
Oh, this kid can drive. He just carried a second gear drift through turn 2 at about 70 miles an hour. This is great. He'll remember this lap forever.
Yes.
Fans going crazy. You're on the public streets and you're thinking to yourself as a driver, how is this legal?
He's going to show all the fans on every corner.
I love it.
That is so much fun. Fans lining this track all over the place. I think he's having fun. What a day. Lane Riggs off to a slow start this season. Things have not gone their way. Found themselves in a hole. Started this race back in 28th because of the point situation and the metric. And now he gets back to his winning ways, something that we came to see a lot of last year.
We didn't get to see these guys qualify, but I hope the Truck Series returns next year because I would love to see a straight qualifying shootout between Riggs and Majeski, Rhodes, Chandler Smith. So many talented drivers here.
Those guys you just mentioned might not be here next year. They might be moving on up to the Cup Series.
They might be too good.
That's right. They might show everybody that they can win on Sunday as well.
But maybe we can just fly him in for a one-off.
Well, we mentioned James Hinchcliffe and his return to racing and his debut in NASCAR. He finishes 10th. Let's hear from him.
Top 10 for Jimmy Hinch. This is your prize. You get a hat and a nice water because you deserve it. That was a great drive. But when you pulled in and I said top 10, Jimmy Hinch, you said, I should have been better. What are your takeaways there?
A lot. I mean, if I could start the race knowing what I knew by stage 3, it'd be different. Learned so much out there about managing tires and traffic and racing these guys out there. But hey, it was a great effort to come from the back twice. End up in the top 10. Just can't thank Spire enough, and hopefully I get to do it again one day.
Hey, guess what? You have a broadcast to get to. We'll let you do that. Decompose. Great job today, Jimmy Hinch.
So good to see him, and he'll change, hopefully shower, get back up here in the booth, and you guys will have IndyCar qualifying coming up at 4:30. There he is. Lane Riggs has finally made his way. As we take a look at Dario Franchitti.
I bet you Dario said that's a tough day right there.
Yeah.
Hot.
Look, he's kind of limping off and worn out, ready for a beer with his buddy Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy's got his water bottle and Gatorade for him. He ran in the top 10 the first 2 stages.
Looked great. I wonder what happened where he needed to come in for tires or fuel or what the issue was in that last stage, but he had speed, no doubt.
No doubt. Finished a lap off the pace back in 27.
Love this.
There's a good spot to relax. His friends all taking care of him.
Dario
There's
Franchitti.
Mario.
Yeah.
Mario and Dario.
Franchitti ends up 27th. 52-year-old Scottish man doesn't race much these days. This was a big day for him. Get that sugar.
It is clearly a lot hotter in the seat than Dario was expecting. He got a chance to do a short test down at Sebring, but it was pretty cold that day.
Yeah.
It was a little different in the Florida sun here in St. Pete.
And we saw those drivers working so hard, legs, arms, everything.
And to do what Lane Riggs did, no testing for these guys. They got about 10 minutes of practice, no qualifying, and to come out and run as well as he did. Led 40 laps today, 3rd race of the year, and he gets back to victory lane. It's Victory Circle, if you're in IndyCar, by the way.
Mm-hmm. And is it located just off the paddock?
NASCAR garage in the IndyCar paddock.
He'll go back to the transporter later to cool off.
There it is.
This team is pumped up, and deservedly so. Amanda Busick is with the winner.
Oh, and watch him take in this moment. And Lane from 28th to 1st. You will forever be the inaugural winner here on the streets of St. Pete. But I talked to you ahead of this race, and you said we have not been ourselves, but I will control my destiny here today. How much of that was on display right there?
Hey, first thing I'm going to say, thank you to Joey Hand. I know he's watching at home. My road course guy. He's the man. He helped me so much. We've been working on this racetrack and the simulator at Ford Racing since December. I really, really wanted to get my first win on a road course. The short track guy from Bahama, North Carolina, won at St. Pete. Right? Can you believe it? I've really been trying to perfect my craft. I feel like I've been close in the road courses, and just big shout out to everybody at Front Row Motorsports. Long John Silver's on the truck this weekend. It's just a dream come true. I literally said this year, I said, I just want to win a road course just to show I'm not just that short track guy.
How close was the fuel?
It sputtered about 8 to go. The pickup on these trucks are on the left side, so every time that I would turn to the left, the fuel would slosh away. So the whole time I was just trying to get it to go and not knowing, trying to manage your gap. Thank you to Ben and Ty. I know they ran me pretty clean. I know that last corner, Ty probably could have cleaned me out if he wanted to. We were so close there, but yeah, just, man, what an awesome feeling.
It's real, Lane. It's yours.
Congratulations, Lane Briggs.
Wow.
So good to have you with us, Townsend Bell.
So fun. I mean, came into this day, the question was truck masters versus track masters, and the truck masters absolutely showed their stuff today. I had a blast. I hope I get to come back at some point.
What about, he said it the best, a short track racer from North Carolina wins at St. Pete on the road, on the streets of St. Pete. Has to be such a special feeling. We're going to watch this kid go straight to Cup and win races one day.
For Michael Waltrip, Townsend Bell, Amanda Busick, Georgia Henneberry, and our entire Fox team, thank you so much. I'm Jamie Little. Hope you enjoyed what you saw today from the streets of St. Pete. Remember, IndyCar from St. Pete coming up at 12 Eastern tomorrow. NASCAR Austin, 3:30 Eastern. Coming up next, it's College Hoops, Maryland at Michigan. We'll see you from St. Pete.